All right, welcome SpeedGaming to this super hyped final of the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Tournament. We have Solski versus azder. Both were undefeated coming into this finals. Both have now won one game, and this last game for all the marbles. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Maniacal. How are you doing, Maniacal?
I'm doing great because I love marbles. And this one's for all of them. And that's the best type of match. We've got what has been reduced to a best of one between Solski and azder. The 5 seed and into the brackets. I'm excited. Solski knocked me out of the tournament. Clearly an upset 5 seed versus 4 seed, and so I'm still angry at him about that, making me look bad. But so azder gets my vote here. No, both these guys are great. I'm excited to see who's going to win. This is going to be an awesome match so far. The first 2 games have been great, and here goes the third one. I'm sure it'll be great too.
Yeah, for those of you that may have missed the first 2 games, we had a couple of interesting scenes. We've already been discussing. We don't want another screw attack in Hyrule Castle to Morph Ball in Big Pink. We had that twice. Hopefully we get a little bit of different things. Interestingly enough, so both of the seeds played out pretty similar at the beginning. With Solski going and doing an early Eastern Palace dip and getting key items. In the game 1, it was the boots. In game 2, he found the hook shot in Saha's closet and the cane in Eastern. Game 1, he managed to ride that all the way to the end. Oh, there's a sword on Hykalia Island. Nice. In game 2, it was a hook shot, but Solski, who did really great routing at the beginning, at the end, just refused to go Village of Outcast for his ice rod. As you're taking for his fire rod, as you're having similar issues waiting to go get his ice rod at Spike Cave, got there a little bit quicker and managed to take down game 2. And so here we have it, game 3.
Yeah, both, as Alu's pointing out in the chat, resisting the uncle meta here. We'll see what the tree pull has for Solski. Just some greens. But yeah, grab that full decanter, dude. You want that. See if he picks up his tier 1 pull. Bush Crab, just some hearts. And he's not going Lost Woods. He's going straight for the tree pull. See what he gets, just hearts. And this kind of sucks. So we'll see what he chooses to do from here.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 tree pulls. Ugh. azder with 3 bombs from Link's house has a little bit of an advantage there. Doesn't have to figure out where to get his bombs, at least not right away. With the combo, it's a little bit trickier because there's so many other types of items that you can get. The missiles, the E-tanks. azder says no to an E-tank early.
Yeah, that is an aggressive E-tank skip.
It really is.
I don't like that skip at all. Usually, over the course of an hour-ish that you're spending in Super Metroid, you can leverage the advantage of an extra E-tank. And Solski is going to get out of there and not go Kakariko just yet.
Yeah, azder is going to get plenty of E-tanks. That's not going to be a problem. But yeah, early on, sometimes they don't always come super early. And I think we're going to see... Okay, he's going to go south to north. Interesting.
Yeah, so I see an important question from the chat about who is doing the unsung heron. We don't know if the runners are going to find the flutes. We don't know if we're going to see the heron sing or not, but the tracking work is being done by Akir, so big shout-outs to Akir. We would not know what was going on without tracking help. Not at all.
Yeah, and if you ever watch either of us stream, our tracking is not as good. Mine in particular is not as good as what we get from the professionals here over at SpeedGaming.
Yeah,
so far, not a lot at Kakariko. And the race game was just a big 20.
Yeah, just a ball there for azder. Don't know what he's going to do.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, nice early morph ball. We already have at least 1 power bomb pack, so that's nice.
Yeah, some shoes. I don't know how you can ball with shoes. This item loadout sucks. No, Azure now has the boots. He's doing a north to south Kakariko, and so he's going to save a little bit of time here in Kakariko. We know that the library is nothing, so that's not going to be all that relevant. Can't bonk into that. Solski shows us how to actually open it. Azure follows suit, finds a speed booster.
Well, that is an interesting set of early items.
I hope y'all wanted a speedy seed, because it could be a double full clear, and it's going to be sub 3. I would wager
with these runners. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with both speed boosting items so early. That's one of the things is like you'll play a seed and you'll be like, man, that seed was absolutely miserable, and you'll look at the timer, it'll be like 2:55, and you're like, oh yeah, I found boots in Kakariko. Okay. That's how we got a sub 3.
So Azure skipped the bottle vendor. He didn't have the money for it. I thought maybe he'd grab that rupee to get it. Or maybe he did get the bottle vendor and I just missed it.
I don't think we've seen enough rupees. I don't think we saw the bottle vendor.
Okay.
So that's something interesting to pay attention to. We'll see if Solski ends up with enough rupees. Right now he's stocked with 4 rupees, so I think we might just see bottle vendor put off until later. And Azure with 1 power bomb pack is like, man, I'm going right for Super Metroid. And again, not learning from the past couple races about that early sash play. I stand by, I cannot imagine racing head-to-head against Solski and putting off sash.
It's one of his, he's known for that play. He does that a lot, where he really likes that early sash, early Eastern.
Yeah,
I know Azure's not a fan of early Eastern, but
yeah,
you know, in this case, he does have the movement advantage in both games. So I feel like it wouldn't be a bad choice for him to go there just to, you know, guard against that. It's like more of a defensive play.
Yeah, and with boots, your movement, I mean, can get better with mirror potentially eventually, and then also flute in Link to the Past. But really, the boots are a huge piece of movement tech. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see Solski push South Shore into a water walk. Like, going to Ice Ride Cave and then water walking Zora's Domain seems pretty free. So we may see some substantial divergence here. I know Solski likes to be very thorough in Sphere 1.
And nice silver arrows.
Yeah.
No one's missing that. Okay, it was a power bomb pack at the bottle vendor. So a little bit of a shame that Azure does not have that extra power bomb pack. And a mushroom in the back of Gauntlet. Ooh. That's not what you want to see there.
So I buy the be very thorough in Sphere 1 for the most part, like not leaving 3 or 4 different segmented checks behind. Because you find things like this extra pack of supers, this extra pack of power bombs, and it makes such a big difference in what you can run. And I almost guarantee that we're going to see Solski head for South Shore and or Sash before touching Super Metroid here.
Yeah, I agree. Just a piece of heart under the bridge there.
Yeah.
Single arrow. We're not big. Oh, a book.
This is in logic because of the speed booster, so we have an in logic book. Pretty big. So normal mode logic, mock balls and the like. Anything that the Super Metroid's demo does not teach you how to do. Is not included, but yeah, this early book is in logic because of that speed booster location and Bryn Reserve being behind speed booster. I'm really curious about this South Shore. See what we find down here.
Nothing at the Atacoons. Let's see if the power bomb location has anything. Yeah, this is gonna be rough for Azure with only those 5 power bombs. He's probably gonna end up. He has a tendency to skip items in Big Pink if he doesn't have everything, enough power bombs instead of farming them, because farming those power bombs is really tight.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame because with this, with that speed booster, it's a bit of a shame. Like a lot of times you can kind of justify that sort of thing by saying, well, I can't check waterway anyway, so I'll come back here with speed booster and I'll hit everything at the same time. But he's got a speed booster, so there's not going to be any reason to come back for that. So it's going to be whatever he ends up leaving behind. We don't know if and when he'll ever get back to it.
Yeah, and we see Solski dashing out the middle of Smoldorm Cave, which means he does want to do his Ice Rod Cave check. Yep. And then is probably going to Waterwalk Zora out of there. The other option would have been to set up the Waterwalk off of Smoldorm's fake flipper up to Hobo and then use the Waterwalk to go back to Zora. Would have been a pretty decent line, but this is also good. Gets an extra location off the map.
Yeah, as you're showing us a spot we don't normally get to see in SMZ3, falling down the Edikun pit, or sorry, the Decora pit. Thankfully, he's got a full E-tank. Because it actually, without an E-tank, it's actually really hard to get back up here.
Yeah, and that Lost Woods E-tank is kind of showing up. Don't know if we would have had to get that refill there if he grabbed that E-tank off the ground. And Solski does set up his water walk, dashed within, I think it's 6 pixels of the edge, southward from like an underworld to overworld transition. Nice power bomb pack there.
Yeah, that's going to bail Azure out. Ooh, nice high jump boots.
Should have gone for the Mission Impossible. That would have been the sickest Mission Impossible
it really
of all
would
time.
Have been. We do find those high jump boots, which is going to make the wave gate glitch a little bit easier for him. And as you're not using the moonwalk setup, it's a little bit trickier for him than for those of us that do use the moonwalk setup.
And yeah, so nothing off the brakes there for Solski, but did get a super pack, so kind of a free roll. That doesn't give us any information about flippers. I think we're going to see Eastern or Sash into reset. Does his check, sees Crystal Eastern, so we're not going to go into Eastern. We're just probably going to do Sash Closet and reset to ship. Azder, meanwhile, in good shape. Health is a little dicey. We may see him choose to power bomb.
Yeah, 78 is really tight to do this Shine Spark. And if that Shine Spark ends at the wrong time, you will die. Because those enemies that are sitting there in that area, they do a ton of damage. Those are Meridian enemies, and they'll hurt you. So
yeah,
very smartly does lay the power bomb. I like that choice a lot.
Oh yeah. However,
there's a fish still
there. Oh, please.
Just
okay.
Enough. Oh, and there's a screw attack. Okay.
I don't know why that fish was still there.
I don't either.
But screw attack, kind of an interesting find here. Doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything new. I mean, it's a great safety.
Yeah.
You know, you'd rather have it than not this early. Late in the game, sometimes you'll see runners not pick up a screw attack because of the, just because you're just gonna turn it off for Zeb skip anyway. But this early, you want to see it. We haven't done lower Norfair yet. That's where it really shines.
Yeah, and Azure doesn't have Moonwalk, so does have to use a Morph Ball turnaround there to set up the pixel properly for that wave gate glitch, and we see the flippers there are behind wave beam somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. And we don't even know whether wave beam's going to be required, having not seen, or whether those flippers will be required. We don't know what our dark world looks like. Yeah, Chances are they'll be logically required. It's not that common to see both swamp and ice as pendant dungeons, but we have 3 crystal dungeons in the light world, so
yeah, so
could be
definitely something to keep an eye on. I was a little curious. Did we see Sahasrara, or did Solski go straight to Uncle?
I don't think we did. I feel like he went to Uncle.
Yeah,
I was busy watching Azure, so
okay, nothing in Sash. Okay. I looked away for about 40 seconds. I was like, this is a really slow trip to Uncle. I bet I missed Sash. But yeah, nothing at Sash today, so the PRNG gods have moved on. Someone rolled some seeds between last night and today, thankfully.
I mean, we all discussed it beforehand. We just said, let's not have items in the same place as games 1 and 2.
And unfortunate map there for Solski. But we'll see if he finds something here. So far, not looking all that exciting, but this is stuff that if Super Metroid continues to look pretty dry, which it does so far, we may just end up seeing Azder do all of this stuff again anyway.
Yeah,
Azder hasn't really found anything in Super Metroid to speed up the Link to the Past side of things.
Yeah, we've seen silver arrows and we've seen flippers, and silver's not technically required, especially with runners of this caliber. Flippers may or may not be required, may or may not be hard required. And considering those flippers are not even in logic, we just can't say what those are going to mean. And Azder with no power bombs there is going to have to come back to check the item there. That's normal, the power bomb that's sitting there behind power bomb blocks.
Yeah,
oh, we could have checked it with X-ray.
Yeah. This won't be a soft lock because there are things that can drop power bombs even if he doesn't get any from Kraid. But it is inconvenient. We may see him, if he gets bad Kraid drops, stuck farming. And if he messes up this chargeless quick kill, we could be in for a pretty protracted Kraid fight.
He gets it, no
nicely. His GT Classic chops are just fine.
Well, and to be fair, in Randomizer, how often do you actually have charge beam in that situation?
Big note though, no power bombs.
Yeah, no that's unusual. He's gonna have to
farm one. Either that, or he's going to have to get the really stupid short charge into Speedball. But I don't think we're going to see anyone bank on that. So I think we're going to see him farm here. I think this is a 2% or a 4% drop.
Yeah, whatever. It's very low. Okay, he got one. That was not too bad. But he's still not going to be able to check the other item. Well, hopefully he remembers the X-ray on the way out.
Still has X-ray scope, so he still can check that item.
Yeah, so let's hope he remembers that X-ray. He could at least find out that hopefully the item is nothing. Oh, he's not going to look. Okay.
He doesn't even want to check it. Just doesn't care. X-ray scope does a thing, dude. It does a thing.
Gonna grab this E-Tank. Let's see if he goes back with power bombs.
Solski's gonna go right for his mushroom.
Yeah, he is gonna go back. He's completely forgotten that he's got X-ray. Okay.
Okay, now he has his power bombs. He wants to see. Oh, now he's gonna X-ray it. I don't understand Azder's lines half the time, but I really think that this one had to be confusion.
Yeah. I think I forgot I had X-ray and then got the power bomb. Like, oh yeah, I have X-ray. Let's not waste the power bombs.
Like, that is the only rational actor explanation for what was going on there.
We are going to get a little bit of Norfair. He'll check the high jump boots for sure. He might go into ice, although with only 2 E-Tanks, that's a bit tight. Not in logic anyway. Oh, nice glove.
Okay, so that's big. That's screaming desert to me.
Yeah, so, we have a book. We have everything we need for desert except a good weapon.
I was gonna say, do you like Bombs Land Molus? Because I don't.
I sure don't.
We did see a required Bombs Land Molus in the first SMZ3 tournament a couple of years back. The first 1v1.
That sounds.
There was a seed that had a required Bombs Land Molus, if I remember properly. It wasn't my seed, thank God, because I can't do that fight.
Yeah, I suspect he won't go straight to desert. He'll be able to check back of escape.
No. Yeah.
Might see him do front of escape. We did that last races. Looks like he's going to head over to Death Mountain first. Not a whole lot he can check here, but he can get the save quit spot, which is always really nice. Let's see. Not sure what weapon he's going to use to see by. I guess he's got the boots will kick up dust. You can see with those.
Book activation and like Dopplering the book is probably your best bet here. Yeah, you see him spamming the Y button to activate book and just hear the different sounds that it makes as you move through the cave. It's subtle, but it can be very useful when you don't have anything else. Definitely not a strat that I like, but this is not that bad of a dark room anyway. So, other than a couple small spots that can maybe get a little tricky, you can generally do it pretty cleanly.
Yeah, there's a lot of different. This is probably the worst set of items I've seen for doing this. I've seen him do it with the flute in the same way, same idea of using the stereo and the echolocation. But he is coming out with the old man, so he manages to get through it.
Yeah, nicely done. Has 2.5 hearts. Soon gonna be taken. Note that squirrel I thought was gonna sit right on top of him. Solski does dodge the Decora pit, which is good because he would have also been setting himself up for a very likely visit to that refill.
Yep. Okay, let's see what Spectacle Rock has for. Not that we're going to be able to get the item right now. Oh, hey, Mitts. And we don't have a mirror to get that right now. So we are going to see a mirror today, no matter what. And missiles inside Spectacle Rock Cave, not going to get those. I suspect we'll see a back
might
escape.
Want to farm some health.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. He better not be trying to do Waterway with this health. You will not make it. Okay, as you're resetting back into Super Metroid, maybe gonna get that mushroom, maybe gonna go do the early Wreck Ship play. Wreck Ship not in logic yet.
I think Wreck Ship is the play here. There's not a lot going for you in A Link to the Past. I'm surprised you don't chase the glove just a little bit, because it was behind the speed booster, so it was a little further down logic. But, okay, maybe he's just gonna go grab that mushroom, now that he has 2 power bomb packs and screw attack.
Yeah, he can grab the mushroom and he can work his way back doing the he hasn't done Bomb Chorizo, hasn't done 230 missiles, and then take the portal from 230 missiles.
Yeah, which that sets you up not too far from the Witch's Hut, especially with boots. Like, inefficient routing in Overworld and A Link to the Past just so much less bad when you have the boots.
Yep.
Solski does have Moonwalk, doesn't need to use a morph turnaround, but gets his wave gate quickly. Also going to get his sequence broken flippers. Solski, I think, got hit in that door transition for 20 there. Yep, there it is. Gonna go get his screw attack. His health is pretty good.
He's fine
Still
now.
Wants to be a little careful.
It's lower than you'd like, but it's more than enough to do the actual Shine Spark, so he does not have to worry about landing in a bad spot. It's the number, I don't know the exact number, but it's about 80.
Yeah, if I have less than fewer than 99 health, I'm going to probably just be a little cautious. And we see he's also power bombing, just because you get all those drops on the way in when you use the power bomb.
Yep.
Which is kind of nice.
Very nice. Okay. Interesting that Azure decided to do 230 missiles before bomb turn. Oh, he's going to go all the way into Blue Bryn. Okay. So I thought maybe he wouldn't do this yet. He's got enough power bombs for it. He can get the item over here at Criteria Power Bombs.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation for Azure. There's kind of a whole set of options he could take. He's going to go up Scout and hope it's nothing. And I like this choice here.
And it is nothing, so it's going to save him time in the long run. Had he Shine Sparked up there, not only would he have lost a lot of energy, he only has 2 E-Tanks, he also would have had to loop all the way back around. And so this way, he just sees it as just 20 rupees, doesn't have to worry about it. And so we're going to see them into the Blue Burn area at the same time, because Solski, instead of going straight to Kraid, is going to go do those checks right now. He's got 25 power bombs. I like this choice from Solski. Azure at the time only had, I think he was still at 5.
He had 10 because he got the one above Mission Impossible.
Right. So he had 10, and yeah, that's a lot tighter.
But
and there's another power bomb back.
This is a nice play from Solski. It gives him sort of the most overall efficient route, predicated on the idea that he is going to clear this area at some point. With doing Bryn Loop, he dodges bosses, but gives himself the chance to find incidental quality of life things before going into any of the other areas.
Yep.
And speed booster and high jump boots for this. This is a little bit of a tight jump. We'll see. Yeah, he fell victim to the Billy Mays jump.
Yeah, I actually tend to turn off my high jump boots if I don't have gravity suit there. It's a that is a tricky jump.
Yeah, it's pretty tight, and then I'll usually just plan for the wall jump. And there's our first sword.
Nice.
That's gonna be really nice for Solski because he's going, and azder does go for that wall jump. Nicely done. Gets in the first try. That's gonna set him up really well to take the glove when he gets it in Upper Norfair, do Death Mountain, have the sword for Old Man, and then go straight to Desert. Yep. And I think that's probably what we'll see. I expect this is Blue Bryn up, down Red Tower, scouting moat, and then then Old Man to Desert with what we know Solski is going to find.
That makes a lot of sense. azder, on the other hand, having already gone all the way down, maybe takes this up Red Tower into the wreck ship, or maybe goes back into Link to the Past. Could be either one.
I think up Red Tower into wreck ship makes a lot of sense for azder here. One of the biggest leads he has is wreck ship access via speed, and nice little blue keep there, or speed keep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depending on what level of tech you want to call that, for killing the big side hoppers. Solski is, because he's headed the correct way, to make use of this exit and not have to go back down the climb, is going to just blind check that item, not get anything, but we're going to get that ship refill soon anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense for him to do it since azder is going from the top to the bottom. Solski was going from bottom to top. It made a lot more sense for him to just go ahead and blind check it that way. So both doing it the correct way for their situations.
I guess with speed with speed being the logical thing, we may see Solski not opt to do the down Red Tower. We may just see the full wrecked ship play early. His loadout's pretty cozy. We may see both runners end up in wrecked ship here. I don't know. Wrecked ship is sort of a modular check in the sense that it can act as a node. I think this might be for the bomb Torizo reset because Solski has gotten bombs. So yeah, this is something Solski's fond of. If you take that transition, you don't like what bomb Torizo has, you can soft reset directly back to the ship and not have to go through the fight.
Oh, a mirror, nice.
That's a mix.
Yeah, that's pretty big for azder. No doubt Solski will get to it too.
Yeah, so I think if I'm azder, I still want to push the wrecked ship from here, but it's very close. I'm half tempted to go and like rush the Mitz plus mirror progression and go right for King's Tomb because it's the furthest thing down logic. But it depends how I want to play a matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they could also go into Desert. They can also go into Hera now. The problem being we don't have a fire source yet. Ideally, azder finds himself a fire source here, so he can't actually finish Desert until we have fire. Potentially could finish Hera. We see a piece of heart there, previewed there in the in that little mazy area. Oh, and that's a Varia suit.
Ooh, yeah, that's a thing that our speed booster has opened up, and now I'm not so much a believer in the King's Tomb play. That Varia is really nice. That's why you check that item on the way in. We'll see Solski get it here as well. I see some runners choose to do this later. I guess the idea is maybe I find gravity in wrecked ship, but
yeah, but also
if this is something good, it's so important.
Well, and if it's Varia and it can be gravity as well. If it's one of those items, it just makes your Phantoon fight that much safer. Both these runners perfectly capable of doing a low percentage Phantoon fight. azder in particular runs new routes, so he's very comfortable with a one tank no suit Phantoon fight. Well, he just essentially doubled his energy for that. So
yeah, this is especially because Varia gives that environmental protection. it mitigates the damage that the spikes will do in wrecked ship, which can be a big thing.
Yeah.
Nice speedball there for Azder. See if Solski gets his speedball as well. But yeah, both runners have a very cozy loadout for wrecked ship. No one's going to be uncomfortable with anything that this area asks them to do.
Okay, Azder starting his Phantoon fight.
Yeah, that Varia, with where it was behind speed, and wrecked ship also being behind speed, depending on what we see in the first few checks here post Phantoon, this could be a prime seed for just skipping on the attic area and passing on a lot of the very slow checks.
Yeah, the fact that Azure went and checked that item in the one item he could check, I know he'll often, if he checks that item, it's with an eye towards making a decision whether to actually do that area or not. So the fact that it was just a piece of heart, if it'd been something good, then he definitely would have done the attic area. And the fact that it was something not good means he might decide to skip it. We don't know. It also may depend on what he finds in these next 3 checks. If he finds something here, I think he's a little more likely to leave it if he finds something in these next few checks.
Yeah, the thing is, you've already found Variasuit, and so you have Variasuit behind Speed Booster, and it's pretty easy to get back to do Upper Norfair. The problem being that Upper Norfair is not particularly attractive, and with this loadout, if you just find Flute, that's basically all of Lower Norfair.
Yep.
So there's sort of a bit of a conflict here for Azder. It'll be interesting to see what he does with that information about the mirror. I think for Solski, it's maybe a little less tempting, but he may also want to just go chase Upper Norfair because he hasn't been down there at all yet.
Yeah, for Solski, I mean, I suspect for him it's going to be head down Red Tower after Wreck Ship, go over to Kraid, and at least check the Death Mountain area, and he'll be able to go right in because he'll have that mirror. But again, might not be able to finish Hera. Interesting, Azure not taking the safety save with this Variasuit. He should be perfectly safe.
Yeah, I like not taking the save here. If you have like anything to make this easier, if you're not doing like 1 E-Tank, Power Suit, 5 Power Bomb, Sponge Bath nonsense, like the save doesn't save you that much time. His movement's pretty good. He's got high jump boots, and that makes him not have to do a slow Sponge Bath.
Yeah, it's going to take him off for this jump here. But it's just bombs.
Doing that jump with speed and high jump, while doable, is kind of miserable. The other alternative would have been to run the Hundo strat with morph bombs, but that's also pretty tight and kind of crappy.
Yeah, and I believe when Azure runs Hundo, he does the early grapple, which means he just goes grapple beam across. The bomb jump is used by people that do the early ice, and so they don't have the grapple beam.
Yeah, early grapple wouldn't have to do that bomb jump. That bomb jump is one of the tricks that saves time for doing early ice, but if you mess it up, then all of a sudden your 20-second route time save is gone.
Yep, pretty much.
And we see Azder is going to do Upper Wrecked Ship. I guess decided that chasing Varia was less exciting with the potential of having to come back here. I think it's like a super 50-50 call. This seed's actually been really interesting because it's presented a lot of choices like that.
I do think he hasn't found anything yet, so I think he wants to keep going. We'll see if he gets anything out of this. The good news is with that speed booster, you don't have to worry about that reserve item being something. If it's something, we can get it. If it's not, we can ignore it. And chooses not to pick up the blue boomerang. In that location, I can't say I blame him. A little sad though.
I'm going to resent him for it, and when Solski skips it, I'm going to resent him too. But I already resent Solski, so this was a win for Solski when skipping the blue boom.
Okay, Okay, wave beam up there. Looks like, yeah, I think Azur's not. Well, okay, no, he is gonna go get that. Okay, not
Can't
gonna
use
get it with that
X-ray
shine
from
spark.
there. And his health, this Varia suit showing up big.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's our wave beam for those flippers. So that's
Nice.
crappy and interesting. So it's super crappy because it doesn't open anything because we already have speed booster. And it's very likely the progression that upper wreck ship was supposed to have. We know that neither runner is gaining or losing time other than execution time on this, because both of them are electing to do it, but it's going to be feels bad.
Yeah, and you
And
notice.
so, yeah, Blue Boom, Solski. That's the win-win there for Solski. He does pick up the righteous boomerang.
Okay, Solski's gonna pre-scout this. Azure did not pre-scout it. It's just 10 arrows. So in the end, it's about the same. Solski would have lost more time if it turned out to be something and he had to get it.
Yeah, I don't know why Blue Boomerang is not on the tracker. I'm kind of upset about it right now. We're gonna see Solski get access to the stun prize. That's pretty big. And also some Blue Boom strats that he may or may not know because, of course, he isn't really an energy runner.
In Azure's case, some of the blue boomerang strats that are pretty common are ones that he doesn't use either. For instance, the ones in left side GT. Okay,
And
so wreck ship was a wave beam to get flippers. Nice. And our various suit at the ocean.
Yeah, so flippers is the down logic thing, but the gloves are already there. We know the flips checks are kind of bad. We might see Azure get distracted by them, but I think that the likely outcome is Varia to Moon Pearl with that mirror and those mitts into Dark World, and we're looking at things like Ice Palace at this point. Like that's kind of where I'm feeling this one's headed.
Ooh, hammerless Ice Palace, never fun.
Yeah, don't want to do it. Definitely don't want to do it. But and Solski also grabs his shield.
Interesting. Azure ran right into it. Looks like Solski actually turned around to grab it, which I'm a little surprised about. A lot of runners don't like to pick up those shields.
Yeah, folks, knowing that we haven't found our hammer or our fire rod, any of that stuff yet, but
we are going to see
it's
some.
just one of those things that's like scratching on my mind right now. Is like, where's this seat going to send me?
We'll see if Azure does the Zora area checks. With only 188 rupees, he cannot get Zora itself, so may just do this hobo check. I like splitting the hobo up from the rest of the flippers checks. It just feels like they're pretty far apart. Yeah, so he's just gonna do the one check, and we'll see. I'd like to see him do back of escape.
Yeah, I think back of escape is one of the go-tos here. I think you double it with King's Tomb though, so you grab your mitts first, and given that we're probably going to see the Ether Tablet and Hera play as well. So the risk here, you're basically forced to do one of two crappy things. You're either going to have to do potentially a double climb if you get access to East Death Mountain, or you'd have to go back to the Sanctuary area again with mitts to do King's Tomb. And so guaranteed to get the mitts here, not so bad.
And unfortunately, we'll not be able to get the item on the Ether Tablet, but we'll be able to see what it is. Wait, is that... I think that was Bombos.
It sounded... I saw Burn Baby or something, but I think that was the Bombos tablet. Or Ether
Bombos
tablet,
on the Ether tablet.
Bombos tablet. Yeah, the Bombos medallion. I swear I can speak English, just not well.
Okay, and Azure does pick up the big key, so we'll be able to complete this dungeon. We'll see if one of the items is in the fire-locked area. And finding that compass there does not a good start for that.
Yeah, I'll restate that I'm looking at you, Bombos Medallion, like Varieta Moon Pearl. That mirror gets you your second sword off Hylia Island. Go get your Bombos Medallion. That's Ice Palace.
Oh god.
I'm on it. I promise. Solski is going to use speed and high jump to check X-ray here. This is one of those ones that could pay off big.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty with various suits pretty safe. The spikes will only do 15 damage with various suit, and with speed booster and high jump, you can do those jumps in a way that you can just wall jump up there. It's pretty easy. Not in logic, of course, without the space jump, and it's just blue mail, which is going to be a nice safety. But if Azure never gets to it, it's not going to matter.
Just blue mail, you say?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm a fan of blue mail.
I'm a huge fan of blue mail. I'd be super excited if it were me, but Azure would be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Azure and Solski to an extent as well don't necessarily need the blue mail, but I think you're there. You're grabbing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If it were red, probably a skip.
Yeah, the point being that if Azure never gets there, it's not going to come back to haunt him, most likely.
That's true. What is maybe going to haunt Azure is this pure NMG Moldorm fight. Good thing he has experience with how to manage enraged Moldorm and does it very, very well. Uses a dash strat for that last hit, just like NMG. Solski, meanwhile, has screw attack in the least convenient spots.
Yeah, and I did not see what he got. But he's got a key, and I know I saw a map and a compass, so there is an item in the basement.
Yes, and we cannot get that right now, we're just gonna hope that it's not a thing, or hope that it is, if we want to see a full clear.
Okay, now resetting to the Sanctuary, probably going to do these checks here. You're probably right, I don't think he's done the bonk rocks yet, so it looks like he's going to start with that.
Yeah, getting these done and being able to save and quit following doing the boots checks and then dropping into back of escape makes the most sense. We know this is nothing. I'm interested in this King's Tomb. This is like the down logic check, right? Because you got Mirror, you got Mitts off of it, and now this is where Mitts can take you. So this is the deepest thing in the logic that's available to our runners right now.
And just power bombs.
Nothing, but good to have that one marked off. And I think we might see that Various Suit chase happen sooner rather than later. The problem being that Various Suit is basically leading you to a giant pendant dungeon.
Yep. But
you could strap that in with a lava dive into Lower Norfair, and Super Bunny the cave over the Mire Shed. But ooh, a bottle.
Nice.
First bottle. That's going to be Bottle Vendor as well for Azure.
And I think that means the key is going to be in Dark Cross, because I don't believe Solski got a key when he checked the front of escape.
That is correct.
And Azure going to do the South Shore checks, which he has not done yet.
Yeah. Like I said, we were probably going to see Azure come back and do a lot of these things that Solski did, although he has a sword, so he's going to save a little bit of time. Solski has an X-ray scope, so he's going to lose some time. I'm sure that he's super happy about that.
One of the nice things for Azure here, he's got now 508 rupees, so he'll probably take this to Ice Rod Cave. He'll probably set up a water walk, which you can do, which is worth it. Even if you have the flippers, it's just faster. But he'll be able to go actually check Zora, so he'll be able to do all of the Zora area in one trip.
Yeah, and with 500 rupees, I doubt we're going to see him choose to farm. We might see him farm up for at least one trip into the little hole over here by Ice Rod Cave, but no, he's just going to get away from that. He wants nothing.
Yeah, okay, so not going to do Ice Rod. Solski's checked that already, so we know it's nothing. So if he comes back to it, he probably comes back to it later if he gets a flute. Or if, if we get towards the end, you're looking for that one last item.
Yeah, if Zora's something, this could be pretty big. It's been a pretty poor seed so far. And nothing really is screaming Zora, because Zora has been doubly put into logic via flips plus glove.
Plus, yeah.
Which to me disincentivizes it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're about to find out.
And just
a container heart. Not the worst outcome you could possibly get there, but certainly not what we're looking for.
Yep, and Solski has a sword for his old man check, so we're gonna be able to watch him fall into that hole. He shouldn't have any trouble with this.
Yeah, this will be a lot easier for him
than
it was
for
Azder.
How he fell into a hole, but yeah, it looks like it is upper Norfair time for Azder. Wouldn't be surprised to see Solski do this fairly soon as well. We'll probably see him also do some Tower of Hera stuff.
Yeah, I do like that he's going and doing the saving that old man. I think that's important. Just getting that save quit spot, especially when you don't have the flute yet. It's really nice. It's one of those things that I like to prioritize. Okay, we're gonna get an ice beam check from Azder, and it's an ether tablet or ether medallion.
Yeah, that's potentially a useful item. So what are we doing here for Solski?
Interesting that Azder's not gonna check the crumble tower. I'm a little surprised about that. Thought maybe he would take that into.
Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why he wouldn't.
I think he's rethinking that.
Okay, yeah, and now he's going to go back and get it.
Yeah, I thought maybe he would take this into Crocomire and do that before the Bubble Mountain area. Yeah, there's just some missiles, so we don't care about those. Already have 45-30, which is, not enough for Mother Brain if we don't find Charge Beam, but more than enough for Ridley.
Yeah, Solski, meanwhile, still hasn't gone up Death Mountain to see his mitts on Spectacle Rock. So it looks like this is a bottle turn-in. And we see Solski's rupee count is nowhere near Zora money.
Nope.
Just not happening anytime soon. It's a pretty good default for Azder, this route for Upper Norfair.
And a vanilla bug net.
Yeah, not what we wanted, but it's okay. Bottles don't come filled with anything, so grabbing a fairy here and there can be kind of useful in V11.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know if you're a player like Apathy Duck, you'll aggressively skip hearts and mail upgrades, but always grab that bug net.
He does. He will grab that bug net for exactly that reason, since the bottles don't come pre-filled. Me, I like to buy potions. First item in Croc, just those 5 rupees, but we'll see if there's anything else.
And I expect we're going to see Solski take a very similar route to Azder here. Probably not waffle about Crumble Tower and just go straight for it. But otherwise, probably going to see him route down to Croc.
Yeah, I expect that as well.
And then runners head over to the Bubble Mountain area.
And another bottle. And Azder says, I've already got a bottle. I don't need another one.
Yeah, so this is nothing surprising from either runner here. So we'll just get to watch if anything gets found down here in the Croc area.
Yeah, so far just an E-tank.
And
but, we only have 4 total right now, plus the reserve, so it's not a terrible thing to pick up. Solski with 5. I guess Solski has another E-tank from somewhere, because we know he picked up the one in the Lost Woods.
Yeah, there's the Lost Woods. He's got one other. It was probably one of the extra checks that Solski did. Azder going for the short charge here, nice. Nice little stutter 3 there.
And
May have
Society's got
actually been
enough
a stutter
hearts.
4.
Society's got enough hearts now, so not going to grab that.
And sparking across, nicely done.
But runs right into the reserve tank.
Gets that one.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, there is a certain amount of, especially on the Super Metroid side of things, where you just faceplant items. And I'm pretty certain that was one of those. I mean, reserve tanks are not... He already has one, though. A reserve tank's actually not bad to have in a few situations. I know I personally like to have... I mean, it's not... doesn't usually come up in SMZ3. It does come up in SM Rando by itself, where, you know, where your ammo is such that you might want to pre-open doors and such, so that reserve tank... so you don't have to refill twice. You can let that reserve tank... have that reserve tank and be a little safer doing that. But the amount of ammo you get in SMZ3 is very rarely relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Azder choose to take a couple farms of the gamuts there. That might be that he's strongly considering this lower Norfair dive, because it's not like he needed ammo for anything coming up in upper Norfair. So I think that might be a tell that we're very likely to see a lava dive here. Basically on the idea that the flute's probably out there somewhere.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, we have high jump boots and various suit. As you're a veteran of Super Metroid Randomizer, would have no trouble doing that lava dive with those high jump boots. Solski would have no trouble with it either.
And to what you were saying about collecting items in Super Metroid via just running into them, that Solski gets his reserve tank.
Yep.
There's no fanfare in the Super Metroid side. So item collection is half a second, basically. Yep. So if you would lose more time than half a second just like scouting it, turning around, and all of those things, then it just makes sense to just blind grab a lot of the items.
Absolutely.
Like here, Solski deboosts into that E-Tank. It's just almost zero cost running that strat in SMZ3.
Yeah, a little bit different when it's Super Metroid by itself, because you have a 7-second fanfare, but when it's just... with this, yeah, there's just basically no time. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Azure wants that super missile. We don't have charge beam yet. Nowhere near the amount of ammo we would need to beat the game.
Yeah, and beats the lava. There was a little bit of equivocation and like stuttering around with that grab. I was a little worried for him in that room, but he did have time. I thought he might have been setting up to reset that. So we'll see. Is the various suit going to lead us to Wave, or is something back in A Link to the Past likely to put us into Lower Norfair? Most likely the flute.
Yeah, we only have one more item. Well, two more. We have not seen Cathedral. Wow. So far, up for Norfair, a big nothing. Like, I mean, less than nothing.
Yeah, I like the play to check this, though. I mean, it's kind of what the seed looked like it wanted you to do. And looks like Azder is headed for Lower Norfair.
And going...
the idea...
Yeah, and going in the direction that it's definitely faster goes with Gravity Suit. I have not been convinced that this is faster without Gravity Suit.
Yeah, I don't like this route choice without Gravity. Unless he really hates the Magdalite room, this is just not faster. But Cathedral and like Desert's still just hanging out there. That's the big thing we haven't seen yet. And with that book, I'm kind of surprised. So it might be that Azure just wants to mirror into Desert to do it that way. That might be part of what's driving him into this Lower Norfair play, is just wanting to get over to Desert, but to consolidate with some extra sort of free rolled checks.
Well, and here's the interesting part here. He doesn't actually have to do... He could choose to do Lower Norfair. He could choose to do GT. He could choose to do both. We'll see if he takes a save here to reset if GT is nothing. Okay, not going to take that save.
Yeah, that's... It's interesting. He does get through his lava dive as expected. Solski not choosing to farm. Looks like he's going to go Cathedral to probably the Hera stuff, find his mitts.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense for him.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see it be like Desert is Flute, Lower Norfair is Pearl at this point.
As you're not going to go to GT yet. Okay, just going to do Lower Norfair.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting just because going the reverse back through Amphitheater is kind of dangerous without gravity. Like, doable, but if I'm Azure, I'm starting to think about that E-Tank.
Yeah, I don't think his plan is to come back here until either he has Flute or just, runs out of things to do and has to... I mean, this is still not in Logic, so just doing it this way. If he gets that Flute, he can check GT whenever he wants. At some point, it could be Space Jump plus Gravity that puts this whole thing in Logic, which case he could do it then, which is slower. But I don't think he's going to come back to the GT area for a while. I think this is just I can do this now. I don't care that it's linear. I always talk about this Lower Norfair is such a linear. I compare it to Turtle Rock. It's linear. You have to do all of it anyway, so you can just do it anytime. It's not like when they go to Meridia where it's very much not linear.
Yeah, I understand the argument. I don't like the play.
That's fair.
I just don't think it's a strong play because it does isolate an area that you probably are going to want to get to, just depending on based on where the logic has been pointing.
Okay, so I missed what was in Cathedral.
It was a reserve tank.
Okay,
so
well, no surprise.
Yeah,
very. And we get another bottle as you're face planting into the bottle of shame, as it were. Solski sees the missiles in Spectacle Rock, won't be grabbing those, but we'll get those mitts.
Yeah, those mitts are the prize here. We're probably going to see him make the Hera play, scout the Ether tab, and be sad about the item. And we get a Dark World map check.
Yeah, so I saw pendants at Ice and Meyer. I did not see where the third pendant was or where the red crystals were.
I also did not. We knew the green pendant. Solski finds out about his Bombos medallion.
That is definitely Bombos because it has the Ring of Fire in it. That is definitely the Bombos medallion.
Mm-hmm. And Azure into his Ridley fight has a pretty good ammo set here, so...
Yeah, I didn't see how many supers he had to start off with, but he's got 30 missiles, which will make up for ones that he misses. And if he absolutely has to, he's got power bombs. He's got 26 power bombs, so he's fine.
So looks like he went in with sufficient supers.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess he had 30 because he has none now. I don't recall him firing off anything else. But just 10 arrows for his trouble.
Yeah, we'll see if Lower Norfair Escape is our Moon Pearl. That's a nice SMZ3 trope.
Yeah, I think, there could be something good here. I'd be surprised if it was the Moon Pearl since this is still not in Logic, but, that flute could be hanging out there in Desert.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, if Moon Pearl's here, we're very likely breaking around the flute. It's kind of a 50-50 on how our intended Lower Norfair access is going to come about.
Yep.
If there's really nothing here, that says the flute's probably not anywhere to be found, which then if I'm Azure starts to worry me about, like, Desert and Meyer. Although Meyer apparently is a pendant, it has been marked on the tracker.
Yeah,
so
Meyer...
shout out to our tracker.
Yeah, Meyer's definitely a pendant. It's like Thieves Town, Ice, and Meyer.
Okay, so
3 pendants. Pendant Thieves,
wow.
Oof. And that got Solski into all sorts of trouble yesterday. His steadfastly avoiding Village of Outcasts with Thieves Town being a pendant dungeon and missing his fire rod.
Although he aggressively went for green pendant ice, which I would say got him into more trouble.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Nice fight there on Moldorm. And Astor finds a spring ball at Firefleas.
Spring Ball, a nice
Not-
fun item, but does not do anything for us in a normal mode seed.
It can end up in the logic in a few spots, but nothing with the current loadout could make it
Yep.
relevant.
Yep. And bombs in jail instead of power bombs in jail. 2 more items here in Lower Norfair. It looks like 1 more item here in Lower Norfair.
Yeah, so this break is looking not great for Azder. I think we might be seeing this exit into the Cathedral check. Thankfully, I mean, it gets a boss done. It went pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he did a very nice job getting through this very quickly, so it's one less thing he has to do. I mean, Solski's going to have to do it later, eventually, anyway. And if he gets to go mode it... Yeah, and if Solski gets to go mode it later, it's not going to be that much faster.
Yes, exactly. I mean, there's some time save based on movement items and farming and stuff, but it's minor.
Yeah, like the areas that are really good for go moding in the Super Metroid side of things is Meridia in particular, but also the wreck ship, and they've both full cleared wreck ship, so that's irrelevant. So Meridia being the one last major area in Super Metroid, as you're probably not going to grab that reserve tank, I think.
So Solski, where does Solski go from here? Back of escape.
Yep.
But then
Eastern or desert?
I like desert.
I do too.
I really, really like desert here. And he's got a Houlihan. He's thinking that Zora.
Okay.
Solski is a big fan of the late Houlihan. Not a fan of the early Houlihan. He and I will, argue a bit about that one depending on the mode, but even in Key Sanity, he's not a fan of the early Houlihan, which to me is just hilarious.
Okay, Ash, you're gonna do front of escape now. I don't think Solski got anything out of this.
That's correct.
Uncle check as well.
And Solski didn't have, or didn't choose to steal the key early and break Dark Cross. Not surprised, given his loadout was terrible for that play. But we're going to see neither runner gain time other than Azder having a better loadout than bombs for front of escape.
After this, Azure pretty much going to have the choice. Actually, both are runners, Eastern or Desert at this point. Solski having done Saha, I think a little more likely to just go to Desert. Azure, I think, also goes to Desert, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I think this is the Desert play, menuing to book. I'm just going to say that I'm glad that I was able to bait the line so good that Alu was able to reel that one in for me. We caught an apathy duck, and it feels great.
Shoutouts to all our other commentators for this weekend: Alucard and Wild and Akanda doing the race on Friday. Apathy Duck and AC are doing a great job. In yesterday's race.
Yeah, although I love the commentary on both, but slops to Alu for erasing me from the tournament and calling Solski the 4 seed. I was a little sad. I was salty.
As you should. Alucard apologizing in chat.
Nah, it's all good. Alu and Wild always do an awesome job. I love those guys. I love their commentary. This community is fantastic, and they're 2 of the reasons why.
Oh, as you're going for the memes.
Throwing a man at a man. I approve.
Okay, and as you're realizing there's nothing in Dark Cross, just saving and quitting out of there.
Alright, so we are boots locked here on the right side. And the first item was a red rupee, so the second item's looking real valuable to me right about now. And Azder looks like he might be making the Eastern play.
Yeah,
A little bit of a bifurcation here. This is the lower value play.
Well, agreed. But here's the thing: Azure knows that Solski likes this play. Solski picking up a Moon Pearl. Azure knows Solski likes this play. Suspects Solski did this a long time ago. And the good news for Azure is
his big key.
Even if he continues on to Eastern, he's not going to find that Moon Pearl. He's going to be forced over to Desert.
Or no, Solski's just like.
Well, he can't finish. Yeah, I mean, he can't finish the dungeon without a fire source.
That's fair. We did get the big key. Okay.
Yes, the big key.
I thought Solski like got his Moon Pearl and like somehow noped without big key.
Yeah, that would be very unusual. And Azure is going to check Eastern. He probably figures Solski did this forever ago, so Solski probably going to head straight into Dark World.
Yeah, Mit's Dark World. I'm mindful of that sword on Hylia Island. I almost want to reverse route Dark World and just eat the extra overworld and just go straight for getting that sword and having the extra sword the whole way through. Do things like combos tab up.
Yeah, the problem is you'd have to actually run all the way down there and come back up, since we don't have a hammer and can't use the portal down there.
It's not too bad with the portal. Like, you can route over, do the mirror ledge, take the portal down, and then go up via the pod area. And so it routes in cleanly with Catfish.
Solski gonna go ahead and do Skull Woods. Gets an E-Tank. So far, we haven't seen anything in Eastern. Azure messing up the Stalfos room. That's always feels bad when that happens.
Yeah, that room's really touchy. Like, it seems really easy when you learn about like the floor lines for the triggers and how to spawn the Stalfos and everything, but sometimes it just doesn't work for non-obvious reasons.
Yep. Okay, Azure gonna go ahead and go to the big key chest, get his. I think that'll be an item. I think there's an item on Armos Knights as well. So it looks like Eastern's gonna be a big bust. Which means when Solski gets his bow, ironically, it could be Solski that saves time, having not gone to Eastern early.
Yeah, we'll see what Azure finds behind this dark room.
And a plasma beam for Solski, so we've gotten everything out of Skullwoods in the front, so that's at least nice. We don't have to go check out the middle.
Yeah, Skullwoods is going to be a quick cleanup later, so that's nice.
Okay, Azure, no doubt. Now he has to head to Desert. I don't think there's anything else for him at this point.
Yeah, so Solski is routing this way. We'll see if he chooses to kind of play this the way that I just described. There's been some calling out in chat about it. Really, it guarantees you Bombo's tablet is kind of the easy argument.
We see a space jump sitting there on the bumper ledge. Of course, we don't have a cape yet to get it.
Yeah, that'll be something that could turn out relevant. Depends. Could be part of the lower Norfair access package.
Yeah, I don't think either one of these guys is gonna go back for that item. As nice as it is to have, it's a little bit out of the way, and these runners are good enough to not need it.
Yeah, it's worth thinking about and knowing that it's there. Just because if cape pops somewhere that can tell you things about whether you're supposed to go to Lower Norfair, we know Lower Norfair is just kind of a giant bust because Azure's already done it. And Solski's going to backtrack here. So he's going to say, Fighter Sword doesn't make a difference. I kind of want to go Independent Thieves, don't want to get burnt by a village again, whatever it is he's thinking. and we'll see if he actually gets burnt by Village if Fire Rod's here at Sea House again. He's routing it early this time.
And we're going to get a Lumberjack check from Azder. I don't think we've seen this yet. And it's just missiles. So, and I think Azder's going to take this in to check the sick kid. He has not been there yet. Get his bug net. And we finally get the good tree pull with bombs, but... Nope, he's going to take this portal. Oh, he has an ice rod cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so ice rod cave's a good option here. We know he needs to get to desert. Man, if he just
he's
Green
getting
Gate glitches over, mirrors and does desert in sequence with Lower Norfair, gets back into the Mire area.
Yep.
Like, that's just such a consolidated route. That would have been so big for Azder.
That would have been, yeah, it would have worked out really well for him. But this has got to be the desert play now, because there's nothing left for him. I said that before. I keep saying that, but I think this time it's really nothing left for him.
He's pretty much last locationing this.
Yep.
Which surprises me because that book was just so conspicuous.
Yeah, it really was.
Like, it was behind Speed Booster, although all of Bryn was behind Speed Booster, so it was the same sphere as like everything in Super Metroid, which was kind of a trolley thing, but then it was because of where Morph Ball and Power Bombs were also in Sphere 1, it was degenerate access to Bryn Star, and then like Speed Booster gave you that item especially.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an interesting logic situation, and I don't know, I really felt the pull of that desert check.
Okay, a little surprised that Solski's going to continue on. He's found the small key, so that means there could be something in that big chest that we're not going to be able to get. And this is a pendant. I mean, it's green pendant, but...
Yeah, it's green pendant, and you haven't been over to the pod area at all yet.
Yep.
Other than to check Sash on your initial sphere checks. So it's very likely he'll be able to turn the green pendant in. I think that you just commit to clearing this, even without Hammer. Nice pixel, bad RNG. Cleans it up with the Hellway Dash on the second go-around. And shoutouts to SpeedGaming 3 and the 170 folks coming in on the SpeedGaming 3 raid. You're coming in about an hour and 10 minutes into the SMZ3 1v1 tournament finals, a match between Solski and Azder. Good match so far. We know Azder needs to get here to Desert Palace to get his Moon Pearl, get Dark World access, and we'll see what he does from there.
Oh, a nice Master Sword there for Solski in the back of Thieves Town.
Yeah, that is a great location for a Master Sword.
Really
that's
is.
going to let him grab his Tempered, but really do it at his leisure. There's not a lot of advantage left to doing that route that I was prescribing earlier.
Okay, and Azder's going to go get his big key and go get his items from the right side.
Yeah, big key's on the right side.
On the right side.
This is a boots locked key. We'll see if he chooses to also check Agina.
He already did. He did that. He did it. So he's going to save and quit out as probably head over to the Dark World.
Village Portal, yeah. This is what I get for watching the new content from Solski's side and just missing what Azder's doing and then sounding like a derp. But that's okay.
It happens. Well, then he went and mirrored instead of saving and quitting, so that happens too. And we're going to see the not scripted fight of Blind from Solski.
Yeah, Solski doesn't like scripts. So we know that the throw yesterday was legitimate.
Now, I did not see...
Not a scripted throw.
Did you get both map and compass? Because I'm not sure if there's an item left there in the big chest or not.
I am not sure either. I think that we did not. We do have the small key.
Okay,
there's an item in the big chest.
Yeah, several people in chat, including our tracker, telling us there is an item in the big chest.
I defer to our tracker. Iker is excellent and is prioritizing keeping track of those things.
Absolutely. There's a reason I don't do that. Leave it to the professionals. As you're going to go ahead and do the front of Skullwood's probably going to be able to get his plasma beam and such as well. Looks like Azure, see, he's going to leave. Okay, he's going to go ahead and steal the key from the middle. It's going to be a little bit slower than what Solski did falling through the hole.
Is this a stealing a key play? Oh, and Solski's going to get his red mail.
It depends. If this center area has a key, he'll just use that one. If not, I suspect he'll go grab the key from the pot.
Oh, Azder is...
Yeah,
gonna use that ether medallion. Good call.
Once he grabs
videos.
Once he grabs the item in this next room, he'll just death warp out instead of mirroring.
Yeah, that spike makes it super convenient.
Now we're gonna get some Smith chain action from Solski's side.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know how I feel about this. It is down logic of Mitts, so I like it.
He's got a mirror, so it's not too bad.
I just always hate doing Smith's checks, but this is pretty free to do. So it's the right time to do. It's the right play. I just resent it.
Okay, if Azure follows that big key, he does not. But he's only got one more other spot to check. Now he'll mirror, now he'll follow that big key. One of the changes in the newest version of the Link to the Past randomizer actually puts a not small key in the pinball room. Not a thing in SMZ3. That is still always a small key. And we'll see if Azure decides to do all of these town.
And so Solski's mirroring here with the chest. We'll need to bring the chest back with him, but then we'll be able to just leave it and mirror into the thief, as long as he does it at the right spot. So
okay, Azure sees his space jump. Not gonna go do the graveyard ledge.
Oh, and he's gonna carry this chest. This is actually really interesting because I'm wondering what he's planning on mirroring to before the thief. Because he can leave this as long as he mirrors in a spot where the thief would be on screen, he'll get the item.
Yeah, if you have boots, it's just much faster to leave the chest behind and mirror close enough. And I know he knows that, so I'm really surprised that he did it that way.
Yeah, but we're going to get the Bombos tablet check here. It's a consolidated route if inefficient strats.
And we'll see if Azure finishes up the use down. He's definitely going to check the front four.
Yeah, and when you get 0 in the front four, it kind of sucks because you know you're guaranteed to get only 3, but also you're guaranteed to get 3, so it's kind of iffy. So far, these mitts are really being trash, other than just leaving the Dark World in general. Which, I mean, mitts as Dark World does mean that the mitts checks aren't necessarily especially valuable relative to the other things, so Hype Cave might be the answer here. But we are getting first chest swamp.
Yeah, I like this. You're right here. You don't know when you're going to get back here. It could be something. It doesn't necessarily have to be hammer even to be something useful. And Azure chooses not to finish up Thieves Town. Now, if it turns out that Thieves Town, it turns out that Green Pendant is nothing, then he only loses out on a sword. Azure perfectly capable of doing Master Sword. He knows where there's a sword already, so missing that sword, not the end of the world.
And no, we've not seen Hype Cave, which it's interesting because Hammer could very likely be the next thing to pop, just because that's Dark Death Mountain and the rest of Swamp here.
Yep.
But that first room will stay filled up. He would have to redrain the dam area, but that's not too bad.
And just missiles.
So 1 item down, 5 to go here. Can't do any of them right now. But, you know, it's not that bad of a play. Like, if Hype Cave isn't Hammer, it's not a punished play. And even if it is, it would need to be like Hammer plus Hookshot for you to really feel like you want to make that check.
Cane of Burna, but really not a whole lot there in Hype Cave.
Yeah. This is looking like that Bombos medallion to Ice Palace. I'm sorry.
Either that or Pod.
I'm just like...
Solsti's gonna go ahead and pick up his Tempered Sword, so Azure getting his blue mail. Looks like he wants to get a little extra money. Not getting it.
Solski is not grabbing his 3rd sword. This is objectively wrong.
Yeah, no. Maybe he's forgotten it? I mean, yeah, you definitely want that 3rd sword. I mean...
I don't know what that play is.
Okay, Azure is going to go ahead and do the Smiths as well. It's also going to check the Pyramid Ledge. Sees just 10 arrows. So for the first, yeah, so the question that Solski definitely saw it. I mean, every SMZ3 run pretty much starts the same way. I mean, with the rare exception of somebody going into Blue Burn Star right away. And that is jump into Lake Hylia and see what the item on the island is.
Solski looking at Bow Break and Pod here. Okay, we're going with the green potion, so... not gonna YBA, not allowed to.
Nope.
Which is more of a joke. So we were doing a multi-world and Solski was telling me to YBA because I was just like stuck in BK mode. And he's like, you just buy a potion and you transition, and on the same frame you use the potion, you get a flute menu. It's super easy. I'm like, all right, fine.
You bought a green potion.
I'm like, dude, I have to keep farming rupees. Why is this happening? And I kept buying green potions.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work.
No, it has to be blue. Why it has to be blue, I don't know. Why it works at all, I don't know.
So Solski, the best teacher of YBA ever.
But yeah, Azure are going to be doing all these same checks as Solski just did. Azure not behind really, because he's a full lower Norfair up on Solski.
Yeah, Solski's basically a thieves up on Azure. Solski giving back the sword from back of thieves by not mirroring. This is an interesting play into Pod.
Well, we're going to see that green pendant in just a second, see whether we're going to get... As you're not having a Master Sword yet, so can't get that couch cash.
Yeah, this is eyes, Hitaka, absolutely. If this is something, it's big. It's a piece of art. So...
Okay,
it's unimportant.
So the only thing that Azure's missing out on is that Master Sword, or really the Tempered Sword, but if Solski never goes and remembers to pick up his sword over on Lake Hylia Island, it's going to be a wash. As you're going to go ahead and open up Hype Cave.
He does have to bring the monkey along. So mirrored and then didn't wait out the iframes. I feel like we've all done it many times.
Yes, we have. Kiki turns out does not like iframes.
So he does have a potion to bow break here, so we'll see. It's clear that he's intent on doing it. We'll see how relevant it ends up being.
farming up some
bombs, I guess.
here. Yeah. Oh,
hearts.
Oh, yeah. Hearts actually kind of does need those, doesn't
know.
he? He was getting a little bit low there. See if Azure remembers to go get his sword.
All right, so we're bow locked, so I don't know. Okay, we're going into Eastern for Solski rather than bow breaking.
Okay, so that time that Azure lost checking Eastern before, he's going to get it all back here because Solski is going to do the same thing and not be able to finish this out.
Azure does get his Master Sword, choosing to mirror. Pretty free grab, I approve.
I don't believe Azure. Maybe he did when he went over to turn in that mushroom. I did not see if he bought a potion or not. We are starting to run out of places here.
It's
that Ice Palace place is starting to look better.
It's Ice Palace. I
think we've not. It. Yeah, I think we've not seen catfish.
No, we saw catfish.
We saw catfish. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Solski went up into catfish and pyramid.
Okay. Yeah, Ice Palace without hammer never feels good. And we don't have a Cane of Samaria either to make it easier. Actually, it's not even just a hammerless Ice Palace. It's also a hookshotless Ice Palace, which is also never fun.
It's not great, but that Bombos medallion, like...
Yep, yeah.
It had something to say.
Yep, yeah, Bombos medallion, I mean, it could be the Fire Rod as well in there, but I think that if there has to be something there. Azure, let's see, he's just not even going to bother.
I think he knows. He doesn't have the potion.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he could Mimic Clip, but that's long and slow.
Yeah, save and quit to Mountain, go get your Bombos medallion, suck it up, and do the thing.
Yep. So the other thing I'm going to point out that makes this another key difference between the SMZ3 randomizer and the Link to the Past only randomizer is because we don't have progressive bows in SMZ3, you can't break the bow in Dark Palace. So in the regular Link to the Past only randomizer, it is not uncommon to use that potion glitch and actually get a bow out of it. That will not happen in SMZ3.
Yeah, so both runners know what's up. We'll see. Azur's about 25-ish seconds ahead right now to his Bombos medallion.
Yeah, nothing else we can do here but get that Bombos.
Yep, Bombos, Link's house, go for it. Solski does have that green potion, which maybe he wasn't thinking about bow breaking. Maybe he was thinking maybe I'll need that for the Ice Palace play.
Maybe.
If we get bow. I don't know. It's interesting. He does have a green potion in the bag, though. Azure is getting here after the lower Norfair break and before doing the Back of Thieves, though. So this is interesting.
Yeah, and it looks like Solski ended up menuing to the wrong place. We've all done that before, too.
Yep.
It's one of those things where I say, if you haven't ever done that before, you haven't played enough randomizers.
Let's see if Solski remembers his sword here.
Well, he's going to see it now.
Yeah. And, I might just save and quit again.
Let's see what happens.
Here we go.
He sees that sword, he keeps right on going.
Oh, God.
But is it quite interesting that Azure making this play as early as he is, whereas, he did not do any of Thieves, didn't get anything out of Thieves Town. We know that there's nothing there for him to get other than a sword, but he does not know that.
Yeah, what was that first chest? I guess we'll see it from Solski again.
I believe it was the big key.
Big key, okay.
And like I said, we do not have a Cane of Samaria, so we can't even Icebreaker. Now, to be fair, without the hammer, if you Icebreaker, you could end up stuck if you don't get a small key, because you don't have that guaranteed small key under the block that you would get. But I also contend that it's good to every once in a while do an Ice Palace bomb jump, just to make sure you still know how to do it. Although with this being a pendant dungeon and it being, and he is going to do the bomb jump, but you know, you actually don't really lose much if you don't hit that switch. Actually, in fact, Azur's deciding he's going to go ahead and it's the plan is not to full clear this. The plan is to get whatever item that is progression out of this.
Yep, going into pendant ice. It's a very Solski thing. I'm surprised he didn't prioritize it earlier, based on what we've seen from him. But so far, Azure with a slight lead here. Nice bomb strats on the Pen Gator. We'll see how Solski chooses to manage this one. He is going to do the bomb jump. I hate non-link sprites, but Solski plays with his eggplant all the time.
It's a fun sprite, but for some of us, we don't want to have to. Oh, like, and there it is! It's the hammer.
All right, so we have the hammer. So now we get to do the rest of ice if we're so inclined.
We got now 5 arrows.
Because why would you?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised at Solski bailing with this hammer.
Me neither.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we've seen 2 items on Azur's side now. And Azure looks like they're both going to keep going.
Yeah, this
now,
is an
Azure says,
choice.
"Yeah, Azure was thinking about keeping going, and it looks like he's just gonna take that hammer and leave." So it gives him some choices. Looks like he's gonna go and do East Death Mountain. It's a good choice. There's a whole lot of checks because we got both the Dark World and the Light World there that we can do. We can find out what medallion we need for Turtle Rock. Solski also going to at least do the iced tea room. We'll see if he does anything beyond that.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. There really was no good reason to go check Pedestal, but at this point, I'm sure that both runners are kind of wishing they had that information when they were in ice and got hammer there.
Yep.
But going to East Death Mountain is absolutely the play. You've got all of Light World and Dark World East Death Mountain available, predicated on being able to press the A button appropriately and hover. But even without, it's a good density of checks.
Yeah, we know Solski can hover very well. Azure can hover. I don't think he would put too much effort into trying to hover Hookshot Cave. I think he would, give it the old college try, see if he gets it, and if he does, great. And if he doesn't, move on.
Yeah, hovering for me is one of those things that day to day varies. Some days you go for it and it's on, and okay, cool, let's just go. And if you give it a go and it feels off, then maybe you just say it's better to cut your losses and not break that logic.
Okay, I did not see what Solski got in that last chest. I'm going to assume it's nothing because he's going to keep going. And just 20 rupees, so nothing else in Ice Palace.
He's thinking about it, and he's leaving, so no pendant today. I agree with this call.
Yeah, I do too.
It's very unlikely to be relevant.
See, of the things we need. So, there are things that we need. And there's a Tempered Sword for Azure, so he's not going to get punished at all by not finishing up Thieves Town. Probably never going to go back in there.
Yeah, we'll see if things dry up again.
Yep.
It doesn't look like they will. I think that hammer is probably the thing that throttles the seed down the most.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that hammer is the Death Mountain stuff plus then Swamp. So there's a lot of stuff that just opens.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, it also means that Solski's probably never going to pick up that sword on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, that sword is probably known and just not cared about anymore. It's absolutely not worth going back for.
Once you get that. I mean, Gold Sword is nice. There's a lot of places where you can save a little bit of time, but none of it worth the amount of time at this point it would take him to go back and get it. On the other hand, if he had gotten it in the first place, I think it would have come out. He would have come out ahead if he'd gotten it when he was there earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's that hook shot.
It's entirely possible that that he would have, chosen to finish Cold Stare if he'd had Tempered Sword there. So
that's actually a really interesting point.
So skipping Tempered, if pedestal's not required, could end up being something that is a time save.
It's funny how those things work sometimes. Ooh, Spazer. Don't need that. Already have Plasma. Not that we've used Plasma yet.
Yeah, so now we got Hammer to Hook.
Oh, and a Gravity Suit.
Okay, so
that just opened up a whole nother area for us. Also,
Maria against Swamp.
Yeah, they both kind of suck. Not gonna lie.
Both kind of suck. Swamp sucks less. Because Diver Down it matters.
Yeah, well, we don't. Well, okay. If I don't think Azure does the bomb diver down strats, though Solski probably does. And I know Azure is less likely to do left side first, which kind of mitigates the diver down play a little bit. And we are going to see a Spike Cave because it just makes sense to do it now.
Absolutely.
Also good to know that Turtle Rock is ether, so we can do that anytime. Can't do anything in it because we don't have any of the items you need for Turtle Rock. But
yeah, we need Cane and both rods, and there's our first
fire.
Oh, hey,
fire!
Oh, how do you feel about Hera Basement?
Azure saving quitting, so he's not going there. Although to be fair, you're not going to walk out of Spike Cave. If you're going to do Hera Basement, you're going to save and quit and just walk back up the mountain because
yeah.
And we are going to get the swamp play from Azure. But yeah, the interesting thing about that gravity suit is that means, are we going to get a flute putting lower Norfair in logic, or are we going to get a cape to put lower Norfair in logic? Because we know where that space jump is.
Yeah, it's more likely that we're going to get the cape to put it in logic, just because of how the seed has broken with the items.
Yeah, I would agree.
It was looking like it was going to be flute early, but then Moon Pearl popped in desert, and things got a little crazy.
Yeah. Solski also getting his Spazer.
Yeah, Solski probably not going to ever turn that one on.
Nope.
Given that he has Plasma.
Well, neither one has, like I said, I don't think we've been in Super Metroid since they even got the Plasma Beam, so they'll have to turn that on too.
And Solski is going to get his lamp as well. So this is good. Azure's going to get his missile pack here, and then get to do more of Swamp. But Swamp is the... I think it's the logical next thing to do.
I do.
Swamp into Backdoor Meridia is just such a smooth route.
Yeah, I like that idea. Do the backdoor first. The nice thing about doing the backdoor first, especially, is when you get to those sand pits and you're going to want to save scum them. It's really tough to when you get something there and you haven't done Dragon yet. Your choice is to reset and come back later, or loop all the way around. And those are both really bad choices. This way, if they go to the back first, kill Dragon, then if you get something, you just keep it. If you don't get something, then you reset.
Yeah, there's arguments for it either way, but just Swamp into backdoor into clearing the front as needed, and kind of because at that point you're getting pretty thin on items you need. We know we've got the Turtle Rock medallion. All we really need is bow, both rods, and red cane.
Yeah, we need the bow, of course, and everything we don't have anything for Turtle Rock but the medallion.
Yeah, we got mitts, we got hammer, like we can open it up, but we just can't do anything.
Yeah.
So we're go -4.
Okay, as you're not going to do diver down
Backdoor
here.
Meridia. Backdoor Meridia doesn't get that much more exciting as go -4, and Azder is not electing for the
Yep.
for diver down strats. So
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like I said,
time.
yeah, I don't think Azder's learned the bomb strats yet. So you might as well just go with what you know.
Yeah, definitely. They are newer. I like them. I like the bomb setup. I think it's kind of nice because it's a minimal item setup for an easy trick. But it is very much a you need to know what you're doing sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a little more pixel perfect than, I mean, I don't know if it's actually pixel perfect, but it is a little, you have to be a little bit more precise with it than you do with the cane strats.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on which pixel, but it's definitely pixel perfect in Y, and I believe it is in X as well, but it might be 2 pixels. But either way, it's like most Link to the Past tricks, just a matter of information, because you have plenty of time to set it up. So it's just, have you learned it or have you not?
And I think we're going to get 2 items on left side combined with big chest.
Yeah, now, if this swamp comes up empty, I'm curious if Azder might take that as a signal that that Back of Thieves might be looking more interesting.
I can't see him doing that before Meridia, though.
Oh no! You chase Meridia first, and Solski also not using his diver down. It's really it's a call.
Yep. Yeah, I assumed Solski already knew this one. He was in the randomizer, the Link to the Past randomizer league when these things all became approved. So pretty much everybody in that league, I thought, pretty much learned it. So, a little surprised that he didn't.
Yeah, doesn't make that huge of a difference. Nah. But you know, even though these races are decided very often by minutes, not seconds, saving seconds here and there. I mean, you do that 5 or 6 times, and now you've got minutes.
Well, but and yeah, also and Solski also going to the back first. I do pretty much agree with that. But yeah, the diver down versus say the icebreaker, it is actually a significant difference between the two in terms of the kind of time save you're talking about. So, which is why definitely learn the icebreaker. Diver down just saves a little bit of time, whereas icebreaker saves minutes literally if you're not go moding a dungeon or not go moding Ice Palace.
Yeah, that one has really changed the meta around prioritizing Ice Palace.
It really has.
And we may have seen the runners end up at that hammer faster if they had red cane.
Yep. Okay, Solski making quick work of Argus as well. And we'll see if he decides to go back in. Probably, I mean, it's 2 items. When it's every once in a while you get the God Swamp, you don't ever have to go back in, which is nice. But not the case here. They already knew that. They got one of the dungeon items before they even had to make the decision. But when there's 2 items, when it's 1 item, it's like, yeah, do I want to go back? But when it's 2, usually you're going to go back in. It's a good thing they did, because that's a bow.
Yep, that is going to be required.
And a reserve tank.
I think
that is reserve tank number 4.
It's also not that hard to go to Backdoor Meridia after doing pod. And so I think that becomes the de facto route here.
That's what I would do here too. And I believe that, yeah, you do pod, you knock out pod and Eastern. I don't think Azure checked the pyramid ledge, so I think he's going to go here, going to go ahead and use this portal.
Yeah, so we'll see. See which way he chooses to route this in. And looks like we're going right to pod. I like this call.
Yep.
I think we're not going to see Pyramid Catfish from him for quite a while, if ever.
Yeah, I agree. I've never quite figured out which is faster. So the way he went into Dark World to get over to pod, or to go over to the portal that's just south of pod. I don't know which one's faster.
The answer is the swamp one.
Okay. That is good to know.
Unless you have like flutes and no boots, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like there's circumstances, but no flute, it's an easy call.
Okay, Solski gonna get his bow and his reserve tank.
Yeah, and we're probably gonna see Solski kind of head right to pod as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting that maybe we're seeing the Meridia play.
Okay.
So Solski saying, yeah, bow's bait. Screw this. We're going to kill Dragon.
So one of the things I like about following the bow here to pod, pod is another one of those dungeons that doesn't benefit from go moding because you have to find the big key anyway.
Yeah, and big key can be pretty deep.
So had Solski done what we thought he was going to do and done the bow break with the potion, and if he only had Helmasaur left, then this would definitely be the way for him to go. In this situation, yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing Meridia before pod, nothing whatsoever. But I don't think he's gaining as much because he's gonna basically be full clearing this anyway. We haven't found the big. Oh, the big key was the first item, was it not?
Yeah, we got the big key in the first chest.
So yeah, okay. So if he could benefit from go moding pod, so this is better than I was thinking initially.
I disagree because the 5 items in pod are all a sphere deeper than everything in Meridia, and so like that's a big thing. Shovel, of course.
Shovel, of course, it's a shovel.
Kind of priced into chasing that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Depending on what else he finds here, but like Meridia can just be a giant black hole of.
Oh, it really can be.
if we find Cape. In pod, now we know Lower Norfair is nothing. So interesting for Azder that he may have wanted. This is a mess. The logic in this is a mess because Lower Norfair is nothing, and that sucks. That's kind of what it comes down to.
Oh, grapple beam! Ooh, it's not what you want to find. So essentially, another fetch quest with that grapple beam. That opens up Shack Tool. It logically opens up X-Ray. We know X-Ray has nothing. Solski teched it a long time ago. And a flute. That is really big for Azder. Now when he wants to, if he decides, if there's something on GT, he doesn't have to, it's really easy for him to go back and get it.
That's really interesting that the flute popped and it wasn't the cape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Granted, Lower Norfair is nothing, so like kind of tough, but yeah, that does make it easy to get back to the mire area.
Say, we know that most of Lower Norfair is nothing, but we still haven't seen GT. And so that flute will allow Azder to get to GT if he wants to go check that area. And in fact, it wouldn't surprise me if he does that even before. We'll see if he does Meridia first. But I could see him, he still has to do desert, so I could see him combining a mire area check with a desert play and a GT check.
Yeah, it's not really that it will allow him to do it, but it's that it puts it in logic for him to do it.
It puts it in logic and it makes it easy.
Could have already gone and done it.
Right, I mean,
but now it makes it easy for him to do.
Whereas, if there's something in GT, and it was a space jump and, cape to space jump that puts it in logic, then for Azder to get back to GT would be a really long time from now. Now it's, it's a very quick and it's actually even one of those things where, like, if it were me, and like I said, do Meridia first, do those checks first. But when I got to it, I would do desert, I would do the Mire area checks, and then I would jump down into GT area. And if it was nothing, I just reset to the ship.
So I just need to shout out the fact that Azder's Dark Turtle, or Turtles in Pod Basement, managed to flip all 6 turtles with one hammer swing.
Nice.
And like
I
that's
can't
a
do
confluence of RNG and execution, but like, could I just ever get that, please?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Solski gonna do all his Meridia checks. We'll see if what Azure decides to do next, if he decides to do Meridia or go over to the desert area. But interestingly enough, we are now at the point where it's just those rods and cane, those 3 items that you need for Turtle Rock that are left.
Yeah, which is nice. It means that you're going to be able to go mode Turtle Rock.
Yep.
Unless Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Don't talk about that.
Yeah, that it has happened. It can happen. It's disgusting when it does happen. As you're now going to finish up Eastern, I do believe there's an item left here.
Yeah, at absolute worst, there's a crystal left here, and that's important.
Yep, got to do it.
This seed has been so exceptionally thin.
Mm-hmm.
Just very, very linear, kind of crappy.
Yeah, the progress is very slow.
A good chance at divergence. I mean, we're an hour and 50 in, and we're still talking about go -3.
Yeah,
which is just dumb.
I'm telling you though, this go -3 is the weirdest thing. You just don't see go -3 when it's the 3 items for one dungeon.
It's go -3, still like pedestals still out and about. I mean, this was an early boots, early speed booster seed, which has made it seem even worse.
Yeah, and I will point out for those of you in chat that love these things, any one of those items can be on ped. So.
There's our cape.
Oh, there's our cape.
Okay, so that's another way to lower Norfair. That's bad for Solski.
Yeah, I wonder if that's gonna, because he knows now that lower Norfair play is in logic, so he may just do it and not go. Oh, and there's the cape.
Yeah, so and that's gonna put him there before Meyer if he doesn't chase this bow.
There's an ice rod. Okay.
Go -1. What do you know? Hera Basement Fire. We're still live.
So yeah, both runners are going to get those items. So it's now down to that fire rod. Let's see, where is Azure going to go? He's gonna follow that shovel. And then he's probably going to activate the flute, and then we'll see.
So, interesting for Azder. There's there's good options on the table for him that are not Meridia. But lucky for Solski, we know that Azder will have to get to front of Meridia to Watering Hole, which is a pretty bad location when you want to backdoor Meridia to get his Ice Rod. And if Fire Rod doesn't pop here at like Main Street or something, then Azder's very likely to also do Shack Tool at the same time because of the grapple beam.
Yeah, very likely.
Which I talk about like it's a good thing for Solski that Azder's doing that, but it could just as easily, like Shack Tool could just be the Fire Rod.
Yeah, it could be.
Solski is not doing the strat.
Oh,
that's not the strat, dude.
Just check it first, please. And it's just bombs, so you don't want those anyway. And super missiles and vanilla crab super. So Meridio is just the Ice Rod, unless Shack Tool has something. Okay, Azure is going to do this this play here. Hopefully he doesn't go into mire. I can't imagine he goes into mire.
Just do the tube clip, man. Just don't cutscene.
What is he safe scumming? Did he not check everything in Meridia already?
Plasma.
Ah, okay.
He's safe scumming plasma.
Gotcha.
And
unless he's not going to do Shack Tool unless he wants to crystal flash clip. He's not doing that.
Yeah, he's not doing Shack Tool here. But this is the play to plasma. You know, I don't hate it. My voice may be telling you that I'm lying, but no, I understand the play. It's a commitment to just not leaving that loose square behind here. We're pretty deep in the logic. He's just got the bow to chase. He just wants to kind of know where he stands.
As you're going to finish off Desert here real quick, like I was saying. I did not see what the Mire medallion was. I'm not sure he actually got close enough to see it. I can't see him going into Mire before doing Meridia, though. Especially with that flute, he can get back there anytime he wants.
Yeah, Mire being a pendant is kind of a big game here.
And a very nice silver quick kill on the Landmo.
Yeah, again, stuff that you just need to do. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mire happen, but at the same time, like, it's not a play you want to make.
Okay, and just a heart container, so unless Shacktool has the fire rod, it's just that ice rod sitting there in the watering hole.
Yeah, so question from chat that was sent to me on my phone.
Okay.
This is a thing that's happening to me right now. Their question was, how does Cape open Lower Norfair? And it's because the space jump is on the bumper ledge. So just shout outs to Ninjembro.
Yeah, it's not usual that the Cape opens up Lower Norfair. But this means this is good for Azder. Solski gonna go ahead and full clear Lower Norfair. Because he does not have a cane. He's not gonna find a cane before he does this. Oh, powder. That's nice. That's a nice safety.
It's powder.
It's powder.
Okay, so GT missiles nothing, and Ice Beam here. I think you fight GT.
I think you do. Well, especially if you're Azder and you've already cleared the rest of Lower Norfair. So the fact that he's going to be using all these super missiles just doesn't matter.
And he does have to farm at least, I guess, 2 additional supers now, unless he goes for missile strats, but that's tough. Whoa, those drops. All right.
Nice super drops.
Those were some drops. Wow, even the GT drops were great. Azder's just like not even grabbing all the supers, just embarrassment of riches here.
And he's got 90-60, so now he's got more than enough if we don't find that charge beam. Okay, now he's going to mirror. This should be the Meridia play from Azder.
Yeah, that seems very, very likely.
Oh, maybe he's going to do it for the front?
Huh.
Yeah, he's doing it for the front. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's actually good for him because he's going to get that ice rod.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the sand pits, so...
He's not going to find the fire rod, though, so he's still just going to end up clearing it out anyway.
Yeah, he's going to clear everything out.
Less efficient?
Yeah, maybe.
Because you have to go through the Batoon fight.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't...
Yeah, his ammo's not great for that. I mean, he can do a Batoon, no problem. So it's a little bit slower, maybe. And we're not going to find Charge Beam to do a microwave, which is kind of sad.
It's faster from that point than Flute to 4 and run over.
He's going to blind check these bombs.
Yeah. faster than Solski got to those bombs, so it works out. Solski also farming, having the benefit of plasma, not having the benefit of good RNG. Clutch little deboost there.
Yep, and it's going to be, for Solski, the fact that he's going to use up those super missiles is going to be a lot more significant, because he's going to have to farm back up for the Ridley fight.
Yeah, that's true. Solski has all of Lower Norfair ahead of him here. We'll see what he does with the Mire area.
My guess is he'll finish Desert and do the checks. I cannot see him going into Misery Mire. 2 items, and he doesn't even have the Canis and Maria. So as you're about to get his Ice Rod.
That gatekeeper in the crab chef there doing his job. Paying the ultimate price, dropping a big
Azure
health.
now has Low and Norfair doubly in logic. Too bad he's already finished it.
Keep going for the frame perfect dash into Mire Shed. Not quite getting it, but good attempt. Always good to see. And here's Ice Rod for Azder, but that's, you know, not go mode, so
Nope.
He's gonna go check more stuff.
Yep.
Solski is, you know, behind the rest of this empty Lower Norfair, and then Pod Eastern. Solski not incentivized to make the play into the Mire yet without Kane.
And actually, it's going to be an interesting question to see, God, where is that fire? I mean, that Fire Rod could actually be in Misery Mire at this point.
Yeah, it could be Mire, it could be Turtle Rock, it could be
Turtle Rock.
It could be anywhere but Trinex, I believe, and back of Skull, of course.
Yeah, there are key layouts. Yeah, the Turtle Rock key layout would dictate things, of course. The Turtle Rock key layout is one of those things where if that right side has nothing there, no keys there, you could actually get all the way through the dungeon, have all the keys to finish it, and still not have a Fire Rod.
So this is a hilarious seed where Fire Rod is exactly equivalent to Ice Rod at this point.
Pretty much.
So as bad as Ice Rod hunts are, now it's a Fire Rod hunt that's exactly the same crap.
Yeah, the one difference is if they decide to try Turtle Rock, they can get locked out of it very quickly. Whereas with an Ice Rod, you don't get locked out of it. The only thing you're ever locked out of is Trinex himself.
Oh man, Solski keeps having a shot at this wall jump, and Screw Attack just sometimes screws you over a little and messes with your wall jumps.
At this point, we don't need money, so Azure can ignore those 300 rupees. Azure can have more choices on how to do this Dragon kill. He can use the speed booster, he can use ammo, or he can use that grapple beam. Might see him do a speed booster opener, and then once Dragon comes in with the goo, try and do a quick grapple kill.
And Azure getting bad framed, but did have a nice full halfie. Don't want to just point out the bad tricks, but did go for a spike suit and got the bad frame. So there's 2 good frames and 1 bad frame, depending on which frames you hit. But it was a good attempt. And choosing the Shine Spark kill here. Pretty good. Getting a blue suit. We'll see if he decides to go for more spike suit here. Run it back, see if he gets bad framed again. Oh, he instead just uses it.
Oh, wow.
Decided he wanted to be able to dash.
Okay, now we're going to see some sand pit checks. Probably see Shack Tool check. The only thing Azure hasn't checked in Super Metroid beyond this Meridia area is X-ray. We know there's nothing there. Wouldn't be surprised if he does a save scum to check that X-ray item. And just, know that he's done with Super Metroid.
Yeah, it's reasonable to isolate it. I think we'll probably see the Shack Tool check, but it depends. You're 203, you're go -1. You've got no good options ahead of you is kind of the unfortunate part, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do either of your crystal dungeons that are left. And you do have a bunch of loose squares that are kind of spread all over the place.
Yeah, for Azure, there's he never did Catfish. He never did. I don't think he ever checked the Pyramid. He could probably check those fairly quickly, and I don't know that he ever got to Graveyard Ledge. I think those are the that and the back of Thieves Town are the things that Solski's done that Azure has not.
Yeah, has Azure done Smith's sequence?
Yes, I believe he did.
Okay.
So if you're Azure, do you go to Meyer instead of Thieves Town? I mean, Thieves Town is 5 items, including the green pendant. But you left it behind for a reason. Okay, he's going to check the left sand pit first.
It's a lot, though. I mean, that's 4 items in the back of Thieves plus green pendant is one of the most dense locations that remain. If not the most dense location that remains. I mean, there's the argument for Turtle Rock still, but that's kinda it.
And there is one other location that both runners have left behind because they did not have a fire source when they did Hera. There is still a Hera basement. Yeah,
Fire Rod Hera basement. I brought up a few minutes ago, and it's definitely still a thing. And there's that. There's the Thieves' big chest.
Right, because Solski did not have the hammer when he was there.
And nor did Azder. It's just Azder also didn't do the back.
Right.
But yeah, this provides some options for strong divergence here. I know we're going to see Solski chase the bow because he has 2 completable crystals.
Yeah, and that's what he should do.
Yeah, Azder has, no completable crystals, no bosses that he would really want to see. Really, if Shack Tool is not the Fire Rod, it just depends on whether he cleans up some of the stuff that Solski has already done, or if we start seeing some new checks from Azder. But this one's gonna probably come down to whoever finds this Fire Rod first.
Yeah, and Azder gets
a few minutes of buffer.
Yeah, Azder's got a head start because he's already done Eastern and he's already done Pod.
Yeah, it's just a matter of can you really stay away from five item thieves.
Yep, that's the big one. Now, I mean, to be fair, Thieves is not that long a dungeon, especially with those boots.
No.
Azure will be able to do it fairly quickly, but yeah, that's definitely a time sink. Plus the green pendant turn in. And it's not Shack Tool.
Yep. It was not Shack Tool today. So that's one of those ones that Azure is probably going to just raw lose that time against Solski.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
by the time Solski
this is an
gets
interesting game.
Yeah, Solski's going to get that grapple beam in Pod, and I can't see him checking Shack Tool before doing a lot of these Link to the Past checks. But you never know.
Yeah, unless he gets in a situation where like it's really supremely crappy, and he's like, I've lost if it's not Shack Tool, and he decides to gamble on it, which was kind of what he did, where he said, I've lost if it's Village yesterday. Yep. So I don't know if he's gonna put himself in that corner 2 games in a row, because yesterday that really did end up hurting him.
It really did.
But yeah, this for anyone not aware of the context, this is Game 3 of the finals of the Super Metroid A Link to the Past crossover randomizer tournament. Both runners have won 1 game. It's a first to 2 wins or best of 3 match. And so it kind of comes down to whoever finds that fire rod first is pretty favored to win first place. So we've got an exciting one on our hands.
Okay, a little surprised Azure didn't just reset this, although I guess getting out of plasma, yeah, I guess at this point, just get out of plasma, and it may not be that much faster to reset anyway.
Yeah, and Azure ran that same strat with speed and high jump for his plasma exit yesterday, and because I wasn't commentating, I wasn't able to commentate or comment on it. But I love that strat. Getting that little bit extra height to get that wall jump easily.
Yep.
Really beautiful strat for exiting that room there.
Yeah, where this tube spits him out, it's pretty similar to if he had gone ahead and reset to his last save point. He would have still had to go through the left sand pit to get out, so it's pretty comparable.
Yeah, so if you're Azder here, do you go for Thieves or do you stay away from it?
Well, I'm probably the wrong person to ask, because I'm one of those people that avoids Thieves like the plague. And it's bitten me many, many, many times, so yeah, I'm the one I would definitely avoid Thieves. But I don't know if that's what he's going to do.
There's an argument for it, right?
There absolutely is.
You could say, okay, if Fire Rod's in Thieves, Solski probably already has it.
Yep.
Do the same sort of thing that Solski did yesterday. And we know it would work out for Azder here. You could gamble and just go take that look in Turtle Rock and say, let the game give me what I need en route.
Mm-hmm. It's not a terrible idea.
Right? He's going to pop out on Death Mountain.
Yeah, I could see him doing the Hera basement and then into Turtle Rock. As long as the game spits him out quickly, that works out pretty well. But no, he's going to go ahead and flute away. Where is he going to go? He's thinking.
Flute into 4.
4.
Where are we going?
What is it? I'm confused. I don't know where
Pyramid
this is.
Catfish?
Oh yeah, it could be Pyramid
Catfish North, Dark World, Ped Check, Thieves is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And, Pyramid Fairy. Pyramid Fairy is open and down.
Yeah. That could be Fire Rod. Okay, that makes more sense. And combine that with the Pyramid and the Catfish.
Our second 5-6 was Hera.
Yeah, Hera, and it looks like Hera in Desert.
Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense. I like this. I had completely forgotten that we had both 5-6s. For some reason, I was thinking that that TR was a 5-6.
Okay, Solski's about to get his flute and his grapple beam. I believe those are both over here on this side.
Believe so. I think this is grapple, and then flute's the next one up. And this is going to save a little bit of routing time for Azder. We'll see what we find here at Pyramid Fairy. This is big.
And it's not. But he's pulled out that mirror, so it looks like he's not going to continue on to Catfish.
Okay, so interesting. Oh, he's going right for Thieves.
Yeah, he's going to the Thieves Town play. That's a shame.
Yeah.
We know it's nothing.
So this is items per time.
Oh, it's a Ped check.
This might be straight to Ped, yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I like the choice of checking Ped before you're going to do any more pendant dungeons. Thieves Town, you would probably finish anyway. We know there's an item on, and of course, he knows there's an item on Blind. But if he's going to go into Mire, you want to know before you're going into Mire whether you're going to need to finish it or not. And this absolutely could be a Fire Rod. But it's just bomb capacity.
Well, low price. It's not a lie.
Okay, he's pulled out the hammer, so that says he's going to go do Thieves Town. So this is unfortunate. All that time saved that he got from not doing these checks that Solski did, he's going to lose it.
Yeah, although At the same time, he's going to be up the big chest check, so there is one item that we haven't
That
seen
is true.
yet.
That fire rod could be in that big chest.
And we may see Solski elect to go and do some of the same things, much like Azder's choosing to follow Solski, although I don't know which way Azder's going. Oh, he's going to do the Magic Bat and Hammer Pegs first.
Right, we haven't seen either one of those things
There
yet.
are 2 good checks here before going into Thieves. So many options.
Easy to forget some of these. And just 10 arrows at the hammer pegs.
And so Solski is, on the path, going to mirror finish Eastern, get his cane, and then it'll be a question of what does Solski do?
Yep.
Magic Bat is...
just a heart container. Oh my god, where is this heart container? Okay, but he's saving and quitting, so maybe not going into Thieves.
Wow. Okay, so staying out of Thieves. This is a play that suggests to me that he thinks that... Oh, now...
Oh, okay, he's going to go up there.
Rock.
This could be the Basement Hera to Turtle Rock play.
I do like this as one of the alternatives. I like Pyramid Fairy first. I don't know. So Azder philosophically seems to have been routing very much on items per time, but not least path for the full clear.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is consistent with that. He's going to end up with more disparate loose squares, but going to get through more checks faster.
Yes.
And so this is sort of philosophically consistent with that, except Hera Basement doesn't route well with that. But the Turtle Rock Dive does. Let the seed put the item where you need it to be.
What?
Wait. Azder.
He never checked the big key. Oh.
Azder, you did that? Jesus, dude. Well then. That's a big advantage for Solski.
I don't see Azder coming back from that because I don't think he realizes he skipped that. I cannot see him purposely leaving that check.
I didn't realize he skipped it. No one said anything.
No, I had no idea he skipped it.
Wow. So yeah, that was the Fire Rod in the vanilla big key chest for Solski. Holy gosh. And Solski is going to get his Cane of Samaria here right in route and
is going
around
to be
like 219 hit and go mode, and Azder is going to come up dry here. We want this to not be a small key, but I don't know how long it's going to take Azder to get back to this. But it is a small key.
He's going to keep going.
Yeah, that's probably in the coffin.
That is amazing. Like, Azder did everything right in the seed, except that one check is going to haunt him. I'm shocked that he did not check that item. And none of us noticed it. Like, I didn't see anyone in chat say anything. I didn't notice he didn't check that. He probably messed up his key count because, a lot of times you go through and you really say, oh, okay, that big key chest is going to be a small key. And you can tell.
Yeah, there's 4 keys in the front of pod, and, it may have just been a gamble of forget, a miscount. We'll not know until we get to talk to Azder. If we get to talk to Azder, Solski going to go for a swaggy silver strat here. I like this quick kill a lot. Nicely executed. Gets his cane. He's in go mode.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Azder is going to be really upset when he realizes what happened. It's going
to be a feels bad.
It's going to be a really big feels bad for him.
This is one of those where we might see a finish before a go, just because Azder might go the whole way down all of the available rabbit holes before that location comes up.
Yep.
But that's kind of the way these SMZ3 seed races go. is even if there's a large time gap, like we had 2 minutes or 2 hours and 15 minutes of amazing race here between these guys. Whether azder realizes that the fire rod could be in pod or not. We've seen azder deliberately make a skip like that in Eastern before that we thought was a miscount, and it was absolutely calculated. It was just the one location he chose to skip, and he did get back to it in time. So, you know, I won't write it off.
He has to go there now. Yeah, he needs to get back there now.
now.
That's the only way he has a chance at this, because his execution is going to be good enough that he can catch Solski if he gets it now.
It's hard to see him doing it now against Pendant Thieves.
Or Pendant Meyer, or, you know...
Is he checking Dark Cross?
Well, that's odd.
Or
that's
he hasn't done Front of Escape, has he?
No, he did Front of Escape.
Oh, he just doesn't know
He's doing Dark Cross.
Okay.
But Dark Cross is a key.
Dark Cross is a small key.
Wow, this is... I am astonished. This is just... These are not the kind of mistakes I expect from azder. Not only this right here, not realizing that this is a small key, but skipping that big key chest. This is not the kind of thing I expect from him.
So we'll see. Yeah, we did have the counts right. So Solski is gonna clean up Skull Woods here. I guess hasn't finished Desert yet, but it's a pretty clean route.
Yep, and azder's now gonna do the Thieves Town play.
Yeah, Thieves was the big loose square.
And it was the big advantage he had, too, because Solski had done it and gotten nothing out of it.
Well, Solski got his tempered sword.
Yeah, technically, because he forgot the one on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, so, you know, not a time save, but in some ways it worked out okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see, Solski also, knowing that the winning times in these races so far have been 2x to 3x for these guys in their set so far. Not looking at either of those times today. He's looking at a 4x time. You know, GT key layout forgiving, but you know that. You have to be nervous at this point. It looks like he's executing a little nervously.
Mm-hmm. So he's going to go do TR. He'll be able to go mode it. azder probably going to finish up Thieves Town. Probably going to do Meyer. Maybe do Catfish, Graveyard Ledge. And then maybe remembers to go for that big key chest.
Yeah, this is... I mean...
This is such a shame because azder would have had it. He was right there. He went and did pod. Got his flute so he could get back to some other areas. Didn't really need the flute in the end. Got his cane from Eastern. Got his ice rod from Meridia, and should have gotten that fire rod. I mean, I'm not gonna. I can't call it any differently than that. He should have gotten that fire rod. Okay. Oh, Solski never did Desert, so gotta go do that now.
We have Desert, Post Skull, then go do Turtle Rock, and then you know.
Yeah, I thought that I was thinking Solski had done this when he was doing his lower Norfair play earlier, but I guess not. You know.
Nah, and it's not too bad to do this. I'm kind of surprised he didn't finish it earlier with lower Norfair, but it may have just slipped his mind. It would have been a little more efficient to do it this way, or that way. And both runners with good one-cycle landmow, so...
Yeah, always like to see that with those silver arrows. Also, you know, always like how that eggplant has arms all of a sudden when it catches the crystal.
I mean, I have to assume it has arms when it's wielding a sword and shield as well, but it's just an invisible arm there.
Yeah, there you go.
Azder showing off a nice blind scripted fight. If you didn't watch blind earlier, that was recommended, but now you can see it done the right way.
Yeah, Azder's only hope right now is that he takes this green pendant and continues it into pod. But even so, he's behind. He still has to, even if he gets that fire rod right now, he still has to do Skullwoods, and he still has and climb the mountain. So he'd still be doing some catch up.
Yeah, and we'll see where Azder goes. It might just be straight for the green pendant turn. And nope, looks like this is the Meyer play.
No, he's
green
okay.
I
Pendant.
thought he stopped on 6 there.
Yeah, I think he did for a second. We're going to see the green pendant. We know that's nothing, and he's doing it in the light world, so that means that he's not planning on taking this into pod.
Yeah, so I see an Atlanta Falcons reference in chat that says that Solski blows this lead. It'll be 28-3, which is actually kind of true because these runners are playing for $25. So, winner gets 125, runner-up gets 100. Both runners are still, getting a decent chunk of change for playing. So, shout-outs to our tournament sponsor at Rank 1 Global who put up a prize pool for this.
And we are getting the Meyer play.
Yeah, so what could we find in Meyer that's at all exciting?
Charge beam?
Charge beam is like kind of it.
Which isn't that exciting. I mean, I'm of the mind that when I have the kind of ammo these guys have, it's almost an insult to pick up charge beam.
SMZ3 has the silliest charge beam. It's no longer even useful in logic for anything. It's just like you could find it or maybe you don't.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty rare in a regular seed that you care whether you find that charge beam or not. The only thing it does for you if you get it, it's nice if you get it early because then you can just ignore a lot more of the ammo pickups. But
yeah, if you find charge early, then you start dropping missile packs when you see them and things like that. And
yep.
Just like don't grab ammo, but very often runners are just like, I'm going to assume I'm going to find ammo. And in SMZ3, you're kind of not wrong. I've had 1 or 2 seeds where I've been ammo tight late and needing charge beam or ammo to show. But like it's a rarity. So for anyone who's just joining us, the Pod Vanilla Big Key Chest is the location in which the Fire Rod resides, and that's the item for which Azder is looking. So he has already cleared Pod, possibly already full cleared it in his mind, but possibly just decided to make the skip. It's, unclear. We have no way of knowing right now.
He did see a small key in that compass room, so that means that it's going to be a big key in the vanilla location. The reason why he's not going there right away is he's hoping that he can find both items before going to that. If the second item is not in the big chest or not in the on Vidi, he doesn't actually need to pick up the big key. Solski, meanwhile, making his way through Turtle Rock.
I'll just laugh. Because I seem to have derailed the chat into an NFL football discussion in a match where both runners are Canadian, and I find that hilarious.
Okay, mind of me telling us that Azder completely skipped the shooter, Stalfos, and big key chest, and one of those had to be a non-key. So now that reading that, I'm really surprised he didn't go back in. I don't know if it was an oversight or if he just decided not to check it. This is the kind of trap that he gets himself into. He'll feel behind and he'll want to cut those corners. And unfortunately, once again, we had a corner that he couldn't afford to cut. So it's unclear now whether or not he remembers that he did that or not. And we'll find out soon, because he's going to, after this, I mean, it's going to be those pod checks and then those North Dark World checks that he hasn't done. And that's all he's got left.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We will get information on whether he knows he skipped it or not, because he'll be able to full clear in time.
Yep.
So we'll find out before Solski finishes whether he knows about that loose square or whether he doesn't. And so I'm curious about it for sure.
Yeah, I am too.
But, like, don't let this diminish just how good of a series this has been.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Well, I mean, and you expect nothing less. These two are, I mean, when it comes to the top SMZ3 runners, these two are two of the best.
Yep, absolutely. There are probably, I'd say, about 7 or 8 runners who could defensively have won this tournament. And these are absolutely two of them. You know, that's what makes SMZ3 really great is, you know, there's a good slate of competitive runners, and there's just, you know, it's a cool scene. The seeds are a lot of fun.
Azure has one more check in Ice Palace that he never did.
Yep, and Solski has a lot of checks in Ganon's tower, but he's only going to check until he finds the big key, and then right up he goes.
Fortunately, I think the other item is pretty quick on the icebreaker path, so Azure's going to get to it very quickly, and then maybe we'll see him go over to pod. But it's not. It's going to be too little, too late at this point.
Yeah, this will be interesting, but we are going to see an icebreaker here.
I think it's the next chest that had the item. Because Solski did get all 3 items out of here. And there's that big key.
And the mirror shield.
Yeah, I'm not sure he wants that mirror shield, but you'll be happy to have that big key. And it was, what was that? So he did the Hope Room, so that was number 4. For those of you guessing at home.
So good thing he'll have this to deflect all of the BMOS lasers in the gauntlet.
To be fair, though, it is actually pretty useful in the Mimics rooms, because it will deflect those little fireballs. Okay, this is the North Dark World checks from Azder, I think.
Man, I'm really excited that we've now gotten chat onto Canadian Sports Puck. Because I have no idea what they're talking about now, and it's awesome.
Okay, Solski into the gauntlet. A very nice gauntlet 1.
These red Stalfos are awful, and I, don't blame Solski for having trouble with it, but like that room just is bad.
Yeah, it really is.
And so Azure is headed for Catfish.
He's got one last check. that's not pod. Actually, he's got oh god, he's got one other check that's not pod, and that's X-ray.
X-ray. So X-ray's still on the menu. What else is there?
Pod. That's it.
There's pod. We've gotten Thieves. We've gotten Meyer. We've gotten Pid. We've turned in Green Pendant. Yes,
turned in Green Pendant.
We
turned in Green Pendant.
All the dumb stuff like Criteria Power Bombs and stuff was open early because speed.
Yep.
Hera Basement's out of the way. Yeah, I think it's just pod.
Yeah, and he's going back to Super Metroid. This might be a finished Super Metroid play, just to give himself a chance to think. So you might actually finish Super Metroid before Solski finishes Link to the Past. That'll be pretty close, but it's still not going to be enough. We'll see if he decides to go over to X-Ray first or not. Because that, I guarantee you, he remembers that he hasn't done.
Yeah.
The fact that he's filling up his ammo tells me he's going straight to Torian, though.
I mean, you do turn and go right either way, because you're going to reset if it's not X-Ray and do Torian anyway. Like, you're going to want full ammo at some point.
Yeah, he is going. Okay, he is going to do the X-ray play.
Yeah, it's
I think he's. I don't think he. Yeah, I really don't think he realizes that he left an item behind in pod.
Yeah, I believe that at this point. I was suspicious of it or not at the time, but like when we saw her fire out, I was suspicious that was a Stoops. But oh, was that a poke from Solski? I don't know.
That might have been.
He went for the dash just in case. That's a good heads up play. I don't think he was sure if it was a poke or not, and so to avoid the enrage, he went for the poke instead of the spin. And it's not charge beam. It's the map. In case you need to find your way around the tower you've already beaten.
Yeah. So where is that charge beam? Because we're running out of places for it. I guess it's somewhere. Well, we didn't full clear the basement, so it's got to be in the basement of GT. I think that's the only area we haven't. Oh, I guess we didn't see all Turtle Rock, so it could be like on Laser Bridge or something.
Yeah, Laser Bridge we didn't see. Mimic Cave. This is something.
Why are you not resetting? Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, like, red mail's nice, but you're not. I personally would very, if it were me in that exact situation, I would very painfully be resetting because I like the red mail a lot.
Yeah,
you can't keep it.
I think it's the. But wait, what just happened?
Yep.
So, in true Solski fashion, we'll have the good cause to ask him about how he felt about his Aga 2 fight in the post game. And yeah, with red mail, he's kind of immune to everything, so he's just going to tank some damage. And
yeah, and of course with the eggplant, it's white mail. Because why an eggplant only turns white when you get your 2 mail upgrades, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Does it turn in? Is that a Daikon Radish? That's Hotarubi's emote?
Yeah, chat telling us that white eggplants are a thing, so you know.
Yeah.
Learn something.
Also that.
Okay, Solski making quick work of Ganon. When you have silver arrows, it's not a hard fight, especially with that tempered sword. All right, now Solski going to head into his Torian.
Yeah, the question for me with Azure doing this early Torian is if he's going to find the Fire Rod before Solski finishes.
Yeah, and that's a really good question because of all the tells that say he forgot, like I know Azure. There are definitely times when we talked about it. You talked about it with the Eastern play in an earlier match where he left the Eastern big key chest, and that was his ice rod. And it was absolutely calculated, and he absolutely got back to it in time to finish and win the match.
Yeah, nice speed Zeb skip from Azure there. Also baby skip. Both runners executing very well the past few minutes while we've been just kind of riffing off of whatever, but that was pretty impressive skip there.
But in this case, the fact that he's going and doing Torian before heading back to Pod tells me he's forgotten that item in Pod. And yeah, it's there's just not much else you can say about it. It does have plenty of ammo here. You're gonna have to fire off 36 missiles to make up for the 12 supers that he's missing.
Solski with a better Metroid's 1 than I have. So nicely done. I can't rag on him too much for his Torian anymore because it's better than mine now. All right, so Solski only 55 supers here. Still plenty of ammo, but will have to, I believe, pull off a Zeb skip of some sort. Alright, Solski giving me back the edge in Torian here with that baby skip, but that's okay. So, by duck metrics, I don't need to go practice Torian right now, so that's good. Because I just don't feel like doing it.
Okay, Solski already turning off that screw attack so that he can do his Zeb skip.
And Azure on to Mother Brain 3. And Solski does turn off screw attack, is going for just a sort of a conventional Zeb skip, but having a little bit of a hiccup. Can definitely be a good call to reset the room here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes if you just get off rhythm or off cycle, there it is. Very easy looking if it goes cleanly.
And yeah, there's not going to be enough time at this point to see Azure get that fire rod before Solski finishes. But we will find out pretty shortly whether he does remember that location or not.
Yeah, so Solski has 33 missiles to miss, so a pretty safe fight. 11 supers in terms of extra ammo. So even without charge beam, SMZ3 doing SMZ3 things.
Mm-hmm.
But while both runners are finishing Super Metroid here, I did want to just mention, if you are not already following both of these guys, just go do it. They're both awesome runners. Play a lot of SMZ3, among other things. Azder, a lot of both A Link to the Past and Super Metroid independently, as well as a lot of like Super Metroid ROM hacks is something he's real big on. And Solski, a little bit wider variety beyond those games, has been doing a lot of La Mulana recently, which has been pretty sweet. I've been not watching it because because I don't want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, yeah, it looks like he is going right for Pod.
Yep. So that means maybe it was an absolutely calculated skip.
But yeah, definitely give these guys a follow. Azder is doing the same thing. He knows, and he's going right back for it.
Yeah. So yeah, this was absolutely calculated, I think. Although actually, we'll have to ask him, because the fact that he went to Super Metroid may have been, that is an absolute strategy to go and finish Super Metroid, because you can't remember what is that one other spot that I didn't finish, that I didn't check. So that could very well be exactly what he's thinking. He might have gone back to Super Metroid, figured it out while he was doing Torian. And he's going to get to it last. That's
yeah, that or
because he needs the small key anyway, so yeah, that makes sense.
It's one of those situations, or maybe Torian gave him the time he needed to consult his VOD, but like that would be a hard thing to find in your VOD. So
yeah, I can't see that happening. It's hard to find your VOD, and
he was aware.
I also happen to know his setup would make it really hard for him to go back and look, so. And he's about to find it right now. There's the fire rod. Azder's in go mode.
Immediate
for what it's worth.
Mirror out.
And even at this point, he's got to know.
Oh yeah, I mean, this happens, unless my opponent did something colossally dumb, or like had something ridiculous happen, then there's just no way. So you do go through the motions, you play until you see the dot done.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's no reason not to. Who knows what dumb things Solski could have done. He's managed to do a lot of them, and he will continue to do a lot of them. So, I mean, we all do. See if we get a blue bomber here. Nope, just a shine spark, but still a pretty clean room. I don't know if Solski has decided to swag around with the blue bomber yet. It would be a surprise to me if he had, but also kind of would surprise me if he hadn't. But definitely I can see playing it safe, especially 246, 247 on the clock in Game 3 of a best-of-3 series. And nice mummy hellway there from Azder, showing off his A Link to the Past category skills. And Solski's going to make it to the ship.
And you will finish up with an official SRL time of 2:47.28. GG, and a huge congratulations to Solski, your champion for the Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer tournament. Very well done.
Yeah, GG to Solski. I don't know if I can stand to talk to Solski right now, so I think I might just hop out and let you do this one.
Oh, you're making me do that all by myself? No, you're not going anywhere.
You might just be insufferable right about now. Sorry, Ivan. Ivan has to quit speedrunning forever, is what we've heard.
Okay.
Sorry, dude. It was good to have you here, but.
And even though Azder's not going to forfeit for a few more minutes, we are going to go ahead and mark it now, so that if runners do want to come in for interviews, We want to be able to just get them in right now rather than having to wait. So.
I've enjoyed having Ivan around, but good things come to an end, I suppose.
Yeah,
and this is your promises come to an end.
Yeah, and this is a sign that azder is not one of those people that has that SRL up. He's able to eagle eye it all the time, so he probably didn't quite see the dot done right away, and so he's going to go for a few more minutes. Eventually, he'll check. And it's like azder's ready to come in. Waiting on Solski, though.
No, I mean, after racing for almost 3 hours and really almost like 8.5 hours across 3 days, but I could understand just needing to take a minute, stand up, stretch your legs, get some water.
Okay, and here we got both of them. Solski, first of all, congratulations winning this tournament. How do you feel?
I've been playing Guile's theme nonstop for 10 minutes, so I'm feeling pretty good.
I believe this. I
do
think
too.
that this is not something that you're making up, unfortunately.
And I'm like, is it a triple or quadruple shot? I don't know. Something of an adult beverage of sorts. So I feel like I earned it. It was good.
Coffee.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
First, I just want to say a big GG to azder. Tough matchup, tough series. I was really glad it was him in the finals with me. Him Rossi would have been amazing. So big shout outs to him.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah, GG's to azder, GG's to Solski. You guys put up a superb series.
Absolutely.
Just great races, all three of them.
But of course, the question on everybody's mind, azder, did you realize you had missed an item in pod?
I mean, I wouldn't have went to it if I didn't. Unless you're asking about a specific time frame.
Yeah, I'm asking a specific time frame, and because, like, one of the things that people do is they'll do that Turian play to think about what else they've missed, and so you do those skips. So sometimes it's hard to tell whether you do it whether it's on purpose or not.
Well, that one doesn't make sense to do. What happened there was I knew so big key was first chest in pod, and I know that there can be a maximum of 2 items in the front. So the back confirmed that since there were 2 keys in the back and not more than that, that there were 2 items, but the last one still could have been the compass as far as I knew. So my plan was to go to Helmasaur, and if Helmasaur drops the compass, I go back in for the last item, and if he doesn't, then I don't have to key to big key there. And then I just forgot about that in the process of fighting Helmasaur.
Okay.
So I was trying to save some time there and route a bit like do the thing that I need to do first.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
There was like so much left on the table. Like I was still thinking about what I was going to do in Meridia and stuff like that.
Yeah, which you decided to do a front to back Meridia. So I was expecting post pod that you would just run down and backdoor and get around Batwoon. Was curious what that call was. Well, once you were back in Light World, it made sense to go front to back. Like once you weren't at pod, but I just wasn't sure.
I mean, I would have to run through that whole screen, and I had too much stuff that I was looking for. Like I'm missing 2 items, right? I don't see why I would backdoor. Like that is just a lot of travel time that doesn't really have checks on the path.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so a couple interesting things. So we had that space jump behind that space jump, putting in Solski's case, azder got the flute before he found the cape, putting the lower Norfair in logic with the cape. Don't see that very often.
So I had a race with Aussie. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, and he like crushed me in this race. But we're gonna leave that detail outside, I guess. But had screw attack in the same spot, and that led to like morph. So I was seeing like flashbacks. I was like, I need to go to LN like immediately. When I saw that, I was like, well, because of that, like, that would throw everything in logic, right? At that point, like once I got that, I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah, Azure did the lower Norfair play really, really early. Unfortunately, there was nothing there.
I was super worried about that too. I felt like that was a big risk, but I felt like pushing logic was like the right call because it was such an awkward start. Like you didn't really have too much. It was gonna put you in some like really muddy areas, but I think my overall perspective on it was just, you know what? Like I'm gonna have to go into the trenches for this one because it's bad, and I know I'm 2 items out. Before Cape, it was gonna be 3 for one of the methods, right? From LN. So I was like, I could find some goods there. Like I was really worried about like bow, hammer, like any of those items that would have gotten crystals cleared ahead was gonna be a big detriment, right? And it was just luckily led to nothing. I was holding my breath. So
yeah, you guys were both pretty far down into the seed before you both turned and then went to Desert for Moon Pearl, and then similarly both pretty far down before you turned and went and got obviously the hammer in ice.
Yeah.
And so like there was a little bit of divergence, but the seed kept you guys both kind of on a pretty narrow path. It kind of threaded you around to some bad spots there at a couple different points. And so there were a couple good spots to check in and kind of see where you guys were relative to one another. But then it kind of opened up with that go -4 situation with Bo, both rods, and Kane being the sort of the last leg of the race.
And yeah, I think with what was it, LN at that point? It was like Meridia LN, or it was Pod Eastern. And I was like 5 items in Pod Eastern at the time. I thought I had all 3 items actually. So that was a lovely surprise.
Well, it's a good thing it was a crystal then.
Yeah, I saw Fire on. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I saw Red Cane Easter. I'm like, ugh. So I honestly didn't know like what to think. So I just kind of tuned it all out and just kind of went for it and just played my game. So
yeah, and how about that set of go mode items when it was the 3 Turtle Rock items that you guys needed at the end?
Yeah,
You don't see that very often.
Pretty ridiculous. I liked Ice Rod's location. I think that was like a big saving grace. But that was
a good break for sure for you, just because it feels bad chasing gravity against Bo into Meridia, doing front of Meridia and finding nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had to have done Plasma, man. That would have been such a good time save. But like missing like Right King.
Same
Fire
here.
Like missing Fire and Right King at the time. I'm just like, nah, there's no way.
Yeah, if you dodge grapple at Pod, which Azder did Pod first, then you did get around going and murdering Shaktool.
Excellent.
So there are a couple questions coming in for you, Solski, from chat. The first and most important is how many hours have you put into Aghanim 2 in the last few days?
0. Like I literally, I know it's been bad lately. Like I don't know why. It could be nerves, but I was in A0's chat like for the weekly, and he mentioned something about him and Doc mentioned something about Aga 2. It's like, oh okay. I like flipped to Link to the Past practice just to do Aga 2, and it was still pretty bad. Like just because I throw in 5 minutes of practice into it, Duck, doesn't mean I'm gonna be good at it, right?
You need more than 5 minutes of practice. I think Duck was quoted once as saying like that was his hour.
Yeah.
He tells a story of somebody going into the Discord and saying, "Yeah, I put in like 4 hours of practice on Aga 2. I should be fine. I'm not." And he's like, "Yeah, 4 hours. That's not enough."
Yeah. I could put infinite amount of hours, but again, when you're playing for like match point in a tournament game, like for the victory, like that's nerves are gonna take over most of the time.
For sure.
So.
For sure.
I imagine it wasn't nerves when you got to Main Street though.
I see one from Ivan actually. If I bow down to you as supreme champion of Zelda and Metroid, will you forgive my disbelief in you? I guess. You're forgiven. I can't take away speedrunning from him. You know what? I'm gonna be kind. I'm gonna absolve him of that comment.
He says he has to think about it. God.
Rightly so. I mean, it's a big ask. Knowing it's on the table is important.
It's a big ask.
He says it's a big ask. All right, so we got the tournament over. So, what are you two planning on doing coming up? As you want, we start with you now that the SMZ3 tournament is over.
I don't know. Probably nothing.
Funny you should say that. So I have a bit of an announcement for everyone. Been working behind the scenes with SpeedGaming, and I think it's a good segue or time to announce that I'm going to be hosting my own SMZ3 tournament in October.
Nice.
It's going to be a private tournament, but I've hand selected some runners to kind of represent, and it will be a cash tournament that we'll be putting up. So that's gonna be like a 2-day tournament. I'm really excited to see how the gents are gonna do. I'm not playing in it, just so I'm clear. I'm not gonna play for my own money, right? But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Any names you can share with us that have accepted to play in this?
Should I announce it? Nah.
It's your tournament.
Nah, because then we can do a reveal stream and everything.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, as long as I get to do some commentary, because I sure am not big good enough to play in an invitational like that.
Yeah, I just figured it'd be neat to see like a real quick shotgun tournament. Like, I don't think I've seen Link to the Past do that yet either. I've seen
Kip did that with Super Metroid.
Kip did it with his,
and it was
Rando,
really
right?
cool.
Yeah, I was like glued to my TV for a day. Like, it was great to watch. So I would love to see that with SMZ3 too. I think it's got like the good audience for it, and I think it's gonna be pretty exciting, right? So
yeah, oh, absolutely. And I have an idea of who all is invited, but I won't say. It's your tournament. So
yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be again, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll see.
That's exciting news, honestly, because we've been getting like one SMZ3 tournament kind of every 2 years, and now that this one's over, I'm already like a little monka-s about like 2022.
Yeah.
No, I need one sooner.
So
right?
the fun part about this, I've been planning this for like over a year, and I actually like planned it and like invited before this tournament got announced. So I was like, well, 2 in 1 year is not bad, I guess.
No, not at all. So. Hitaka asking, will it be surprise key sanity?
Please.
I haven't decided the format yet, guys. Don't worry.
Oh,
it could happen.
Still got time.
Just have to wait and see, right?
Well, you're not playing, so maybe you could do some hard mode.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out.
But yeah, I mean, that's really exciting, and gonna be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye out and see when that gets scheduled, so that I can be sure to be around for it, either as a participant or as a spectator. We'll see how that one goes down. But it'll be a blast regardless. Those short like 1-day tournaments are fantastic for watching. Like you said, with like Super Metroid Dash Rando tournament was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. But yeah, just so long as I get to do some commentary, I'll be happy. Whatever format, whatever you decide to do with it, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
For sure.
Maybe you and I, Solski, can do commentary together. We haven't done that yet.
For sure. No, I'm definitely down for that idea.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Big fan of your comms, so absolutely.
Yeah, that will be a lot of fun. And also, I also want to thank you, because when we were talking about commentary for this finals, you named 6 people. We got all 6 of them on comms this weekend. And the fact that you wanted me as one of them it feels good, So yeah, definitely thank you for that.
And again, like I even added a footnote too. It's just like, you know what, there's been a lot of good commentary from this tournament, and like there's a lot of people that have been commentating and stepping up, and like it's really strong, I think, right now. So it's good.
All right. I don't know that we have much else to add. I was hoping we could get Miss Metroid in here, but I don't see her in the chat or anything. But definitely want to give a big shout outs to her. She was the main organizer. I helped her out as much as I could, but she's the one that put in most of the hard work, and it is a lot of work. Because let me tell you, running tournaments, and at one point I was running 2 at the same time, is a lot of work. And without her, this tournament doesn't happen. So definitely want to make sure we give a big shout out to her. Also, our tracker, Iker. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, so I apologize. But big shout outs to him. Clicking the buttons behind the scenes. Anyone that hasn't tried tracking, it's hard work. I've done it. I'm bad at it, and I usually stick to doing with Super Metroid only, and I'm bad at that. So, and also, big shout outs to all our comms this weekend. Also, Maniacal for joining me. Always love doing commentary with Maniacal.
Yeah, it was a blast. I'm glad I got to do it. Glad we got a game 3 in this set. Super hype. Was obviously a blast to both get to watch and get to commentate. Always a fun time, Tracy.
Absolutely. And let's see if either of the runners want to add anything before we close this out.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see where the state have, competitive and just the community in general has gone with SMZ3 over the last 2 years since the last tournament. Proud of this community. A lot of great runners in this. Let's just keep it going, guys. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely. Azder, you got anything?
No, good game.
Yeah, good game to both Azder and Solski, and I'll echo what Solski said. The fact that like all these bracket matches have been won by like 2-2x, 2-3x, 2-4x type times so consistently is just a testament to all the work that so many people have put into SMZ3. Even over the course of this tournament, people have improved a ton. Even a shorter tournament like this. The meta's really come together nicely. The V11 logic has been a lot of fun to kind of screw around with. I think Total's done an awesome job with the game from the dev side. It's in a great place. So if anyone's thinking about getting in on SMZ3, no better time than now to pick it up. There's weekly races twice a week. Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then Monday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So one coming up tomorrow evening, a little less than 24 hours from now.
Yep, and that'll be a hard mode, but we do switch back and forth. So every week, one day, this week was a normal on Sunday and a hard mode on Monday, and next week it'll flip. Although next Monday is going to be a multi, so that's going to be fun. So make sure you get. Are we going to get a Maniacal Solski multi pairing on Monday next week?
I mean, let's see. Monday is I
got to work it out later, but
I can't promise that because I can't promise availability for it. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. Could be a thing.
All right. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for us. So congratulations to Solski, our winner, Azure, our runner-up. I'm also going to shout out Asi, our 3rd place winner, Pizza, our 4th place winner. All very deserving, all finishing in the money. Hopefully they'll enjoy that. And again, to all the commentators, all the trackers, the rest of all the speed gaming people behind the scenes. I mean, I just can't thank all of you. And you know what? We did just mention Total. I'm going to mention him again because none of this happens if Total didn't have that crazy idea of smashing 2 very popular games together and making them into one big game, and giving us this great time. So yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for us. I'll let you go ahead and close this out, though, Maniacal.
Sounds great. Thank you, Tracy, for letting me join you on commentary. And again, big props to Solski. Congrats on the win, dude. Glad that after you knocked me out of the tournament, you were able to go on and take this one down. Feels a little vindicating, but you've been putting in some good work, and so it's good to see you, showing up and winning this one. But yeah, big shout outs again to Rank 1 Global for sponsoring the prize support that all of our top 4 runners are receiving some money from. Gave us a little something extra to play for, so that's always awesome. So big thanks to them. And then thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting the tournament and giving us a venue for these matches. If you stay right here, coming up in about half an hour, we have the Zelda 1 Randomizer weekly race coming up. So that should be a lot of fun. And then over on SpeedGaming 2, it looks like there is some random lockout bingo. So if you are a bingo fan, SpeedGaming 2 is a good place to check out. But yeah, SpeedGaming, all the channels, lots of great games happening all the time. Lots of great content to check out. And yeah, have a great night. And I will see y'all in that super hype upcoming fall tournament that Solski has just name dropped. And see y'all next mission.